Kevin. Kudos, Ron, on the video today.
Man, I'm just so excited for that kid, man.
Me too. Hey, Ron, you know what I thought I'd do? That we would do?
What's that?
Is I got a transcript of Knox's interview today,
Mm-hmm.
and I thought that Guillermo played it, but he really didn't go into depth. And I think there's a lot of hints on what the Knicks are going to be doing this year.
Yeah. Friday can't get there quick enough. Kev, we still can't hear you, man. That is real low. Yeah, Friday can't. Yeah, oh yeah, perfect.
I got the mute button pressed.
Yeah, I think for him, I'm so excited for him, and I'm excited for Frank. I mean, for me, defense always hold a soft spot in my heart, man. And so, anytime we got a player that's on the defensive end that I know can bring it, I'm gonna pull for him. But just as a whole, like I said, man, when I did that video today, and I looked at Kevin Knox's numbers from that rookie season, Kevin, all I thought about was what you said last night, man. I was like, you know what? You look at precipitous drop off from that rookie season to this second year that he had with Fizz. And it's apparent some kind of disconnect happened. And we know what it was. You know what I mean? And so, like I said, I got to give the guy a pass on last year. I can't hold that against him. You know what I mean? But it took me a minute to get to that point because I was on him hard. You know, the body language and all that kind of stuff. But it makes all the sense in the world. If I had to play for Fizdale, I would have been the same way.
A lot of people look at it from the outside and just look at the numbers, and then they look at his body language like the talent isn't there. But it's like I couldn't believe looking at him. And yeah, it's not like he had the greatest rookie, not like he was like LeBron coming in, but he had a decent rookie season. And so I had to take a step back and be like, okay, I know Knox can do A, B, and C, but something he's not doing is not putting it together. And all he has to do is, and then realizing, and I guess his rookie season, that first season, and not just Kevin Knox, but the team, I gave David Fizdale a pass. Because I was like, okay, he doesn't have that much to work with, you know, but I know he was that great assistant in Miami. Everyone said all these good things about him. He went to the playoffs in Memphis that I think his first year. Maybe both years, I don't know. So I was like, okay, maybe it's just there's not that much talent. Maybe if you give him some talent, like any coach, you know, we can see what he can do. But then you look at it, you look at the game, and it's like, okay, he clearly does have no idea what he's doing. How he pulled the wool over Steve Mills and Scott Perry's eyes, I don't know.
But you know, I thought about something you made me think about, man, with Fizdale. You know, he's not the guy. It's apparent he's not the guy for a young team. You know, because you think about what was so great about that Miami team, what he was dealing with was veterans. That whole team was loaded with veterans. So he gets the job in Memphis. Memphis had veterans. You know, think about it. Zebo and them guys was already there. That wasn't no rookie team. So he came to New York with a bunch of young guys. And so I think that's really where they miscalculated with him. He hadn't showed that he could develop guys. Both stops he dealt with veterans, not youngsters.
Yeah,
what's up, Guillermo?
Salute, guys. What's up, man?
Hey, congrats again, man.
Thank you, man. Thank you, man.
Great show.
Thank you, bro. Thank you, bro. Thank you, bro.
That Spain pick tutorial, man, was that beautiful. That was beautiful. So
yeah, it's funny, man. Seeing Guillermo now. You know, when I called in, I was hyped for him, man. I was like, I remember this guy back in the days, us in them trenches with nothing but Knicks with Sim, man. And to see him now is like, you know, watching that progression, watching that growth. You know, what's up, Trendy?
Hey, I'm a big fan of y'all. Big fan. This is my first time. I'm a big fan of y'all. I just want to tell y'all that.
Hey, you're a Knicks fan, man. So You're a Knicks fan, so it ain't the first time, baby. You good with us.
I think this show needs some young blood.
You've been depressed most of your life like the rest of us.
Yeah, I've been depressed. I get joked. See, I'm from Virginia, and I'm a Knicks fan. And I get joked bad.
Okay.
I get joked bad.
I'm from South Carolina, man, and I get it too.
Yeah. They become terrible. But I'm a big fan. Guillermo too. Big fan of you too. Honestly. Big fan.
Thank you, bro.
Honestly.
Hey, Guillermo, you touched on the Kevin Knox press conference today, or a media day, and I have the transcript, and I thought maybe that we start off with going around the horn. I basically say the question and Kevin's answer, and we could delve a little deeper into it, because I think there are a lot of hints on what we can see this season. So to just kick it off, the first question was, what did you work on during the offseason? And he said he was working on getting stronger in his upper and lower body, which will allow him to get to the basket. He worked on his shooting. He put up a lot of shots every day. And here's one I really like. He worked on his handles and his post up too, but the key has been getting stronger and being in shape and taking my conditioning to another level. We have a lot of young guys on this team and been running a lot in transition in practice, using our athleticism and getting out on the fast break. I think the way the coach wants us to play this year is really fast. He wants us to fly up and down the court, which is different than last year. So let's go around the horn and your thoughts on that.
You want me to go first, or?
Sure.
So the thing with Knox, because he definitely mentioned working on his post up when he went to work with Obi, which I think that maybe the coaches told him, hey, someone must have told him, but I think it may have been from the coaches, maybe told him off season, hey, here's some things you need to work on. The lower body thing is definitely an aspect he needs to work on. If you look at his footing, if you look at his hips, his legs just look sloppy, a lot of bad positioning. As you saw the article I was reading about from the Strickland, they talked about his defense against screen set his way. So definitely, one thing I was like, to me, for him, it's mostly mental. So mental awareness, anticipation, situational awareness on defense and offense, especially on defense for me. I wonder if he said that, if he said, hey, situational awareness, all the mental stuff with that, is he holding back because that'll make him look, stupid? To be like, oh, wow, yeah, you're an idiot last year. Hopefully, learning that. So that's one way I'm looking at. I'm like, all right, maybe, hopefully they're talking to about that stuff. He talked about the system. Oh, you're going to get to it, but yes, those things he needs badly. I hope he gets a change of pace kind of skill when going to the basket, a Euro step, something, a fake
finishing.
Right. Well, to also create chase, because when he goes to the basket, it's very linear.
Yeah, he's going to the basket.
He does that ugly
floater,
and then throws like a freaking dodgeball floater into the freaking hoop, and it's going in at times. But it's so ugly and linear and straight line, it's gonna miss. So, I mean, look, he's not gonna say much per se on the things that he truly needs to work on. So I think he's just giving some insight as to what Tibbs wants to do, which is pace, defense, the corner three. He's just gonna talk about the physical stuff. He's not gonna talk about the mental stuff. But he was smiling, so hopefully, maybe they give some gummy bears for doing some drills correctly, because he
sounded different.
I'm an RJ Barrett guy. RJ Barrett, he's the type of guy, he's like Lord of Flies, man. The plane crash, he's a kid, he's building a fire, he got the camp, everything set up. He's not sitting there crying. But if Knox is slowly developing mentally and getting confidence, that's a great thing for him.
What do you think about Knox posting up?
I love it. I said this, how many times I've said, Steve, I've said this so many times about Knox.
Yep.
He can develop a post-up game, a 6'9" guy who can, he has broad shoulders, right?
And with wingspan.
This is it gets me so pissed, man. And this is not necessarily on Knox, but the AAU circuit and how they're developing these kids, man, which is basically no development. How is it that a guy who has such like long, wide kind of feet, right? And he's not the fastest or fleetest of foot, right? How is it that these guys have said, you know what, hey, let's work on something that can get you points easier, right? You could have a go-to move in regards to your post-up. And even a tall guy like that, literally, if he's posting up, shimmies, turns to the middle of the paint, fakes it, and goes the other way, that's literally, I'm not saying it's the easiest move, but that's one definite go-to move that I can see a guy as tall as him and a guy who he just looks doofy and like, oh, I'm going to go up now. He could catch so many guys with the go up and literally go with the up and under. I'm just amazed at how poorly these guys have been developing since like college. Like they literally get a lot of their middle school, high school, what they should have been doing in the NBA.
Yeah.
Like a post-up game should have been since. You're a 6'9" guy. I understand he grew, but you told me a guy like Kevin Knox, because Kevin Knox he ain't shifty, he ain't fast like that. He was really the product of the UK system, right? Why didn't he ever develop a post game? I don't know. It's good he's working on it now, but
I can answer that for you, Legion. I mean, think about it. We got a guy that we just drafted 8th overall, and that's what you show the hindsight when you look at careers. The fact that the guy stayed in college a little bit longer, and each year he worked, he added something else to his game. You look at him practicing with Julius Randle. He didn't look like a rookie. He looked like a vet. I mean, I saw drop steps. I'm seeing post ups. He's spinning baseline with a left hand. This is none of the stuff that we saw from Kevin Knox. So it's just really, and not just Kevin Knox, but all, like you said, these young guys that's coming in the league so fast, and a lot of them, they're getting put out of the league because they're coming too soon and they're not developed. And so when that happens, you're doing yourself a disservice, man. Learn your craft, learn your job before. You know what I equated to? Back in the days when it came to rap music, you had to have skills to touch the mic. You had to be able to tell a story. And none of this bubblegum stuff that be going on nowadays, you know what I mean? And let's be real. A lot of these guys
don't insult Trendy Shaq's generation.
I'm not going to throw them off right now. I'm not going to put all in a box because that ain't fair. But a lot of them, let's just be real. If this was the standard of you have to be able, because rap was about storytelling.
Yep.
You couldn't tell stories. You're out of there. So it's about perfecting your craft. Yep. And a lot of these guys that come out of college, like you're saying, these guys don't know basic basketball fundamentals.
Y'all know what's another reason for that? The AAU, like the upbringing of all these AAU people. All these kids
absolutely.
AAU, they not learning nothing from AAU.
They don't learn nothing.
It's just highlight reels, man.
All they want is a highlight or a little Instagram picture or something now.
My nephew was playing in the AAU circuit. He came up here where I'm at in South Carolina, and I went to watch his game, and I just shook my head because I was like, it's just running up and down the floor. Highlight reels. That's all I saw. I didn't see no fundamentals. I was like, not impressed.
Coach is not even coaching, no structure, no nothing.
I'm going to take a different route with this, and a lot, like I said last night, Knox didn't have all of this harsh criticism his rookie year, and I think there's a reason for that. Is he was given the keys. Fizdale just said, do whatever. Mm-hmm. And I'm pretty sure at 20 years old, Kevin Knox has probably been playing basketball for I don't know how long. But last year was probably the first time in his entire life where he's probably faced any kind of adversity athletically. And this is a 20-year-old kid who's probably been in high school the best athlete, in college, recruited by Kentucky, came out starting, had a pretty good freshman year. Came into the league, 19. Pretty much had the keys to New York City. And then the Knicks drafted RJ Barrett. And this is where a little bit of the personality, I think, of Kevin Knox came out. And then I want to differentiate motor to personality. Because I believe Kevin Knox's personality is more or less cool, calm, relaxed, not a rah-rah kind of person. Whereas RJ is beating on his chest and yelling and screaming and everything else. But it's not a bad thing that Kevin Knox isn't like that. But people love RJ because he shows that grit that New Yorkers just absolutely love and fall in love with because it gives them that 90s nostalgia. And you have Kevin Knox, walking around with his head down and everything. And it's like, oh, he's soft, he has a low motor, da-da-da-da-da. And a lot of that is people's love for RJ just looking at RJ. And the fact that, Mook Morris came in last year and Bobby Portis and Mo Harkless and all these other people and management and the horrible coaching of Fizdale and Mike Miller, there was just so many dominoes that just fell away from Kevin Knox.
Terrible coaches.
And again, like I said, I give him a mulligan because with all of those things that working against you, like I'm pretty sure no one last year was like, all right, Kevin, let's take some time out and let's work on this, this, and this. I guarantee that probably never happened. And if it did happen, I hope it wasn't Keith Smart who did that.
But Kevin, here's the difference, though. I think that I have to disagree with you on the RJ thing, right? It's not necessarily that RJ is beating on his chest or whatnot, right? It's the fact that RJ Barrett sees adversity and he goes towards it, right? RJ Barrett knows his weaknesses, right? You're talking about a kid who knew he wasn't a good shooter, hired his own shooting coach to improve his shooting, right? You never felt, even with RJ Barrett, right? 40% from the field, 32% from three, I think 40-something% right at the cup, which is not good, right? He knows all these weaknesses, and he was steadily. There's splits of him shooting like 3 for 5 from three, 3 for whatever. You saw it where it's like, all right, you could see him trying to develop, right, get better. You see the splits month by month, right? So with RJ Barrett, it's not to say that he was beating on his chest. There are a lot of guys who play for the Knicks who beat on the chest who are trash, right? I remember the times when Jared Jeffries were rah, and it's just like, dogs, you go somewhere. Like, I mean, RJ Barrett is like he's like I said, he's like Majin Buu from Dragon Ball Z. If anybody knows Dragon Ball Z, he's always constantly trying to evolve his game. With Knox is like, it's not necessarily his attitude. You could be quiet. Kawhi Leonard doesn't talk, right? There have been guys in NBA is that they have a silent confidence about him, right?
Tim Duncan.
Right, but Tim Duncan, straight killer. People do not. Tim Duncan I think he's the best power forward of all time, but another discussion for another day. Mm-hmm. You never felt with those guys that their confidence is wavering and that's going to bring down everything, or they're scared of adversity. That's what I think when we look at Knox, it's not necessarily his emotions. It's the fact that, he's down, he's not doing well, and then that affects his defense. That affects his focus in the game. Now he can't grab a rebound. He's hitting the ball into his own net, and it's like a domino effect with Knox versus RJ Barrett. RJ Barrett had a bad game here. All right, next night he's scoring 27 against the Rockets. He has a bad game here. All right, next night he's going to the line about 5 times a game. You know what I mean? You see it.
He's mentally tough. He's mentally tough. He is mentally tough.
You can say the same thing that Kevin Knox was doing in his rookie season. He might have a bad game, and the next game he's going 27 against the Bucks. Or have a bad game.
Kev,
hold on, Kevin, real quick. When was that he did that? Because remember, he went off, I believe, in the second half, right?
Now, mind you, Kevin Knox won
Rookie of the Month
in December.
Yeah.
In December, he won Rookie of the Month. He scored like 20 points like 10 times that month. And that was technically that's the first half of the season.
He was snapping.
He was balling. He was balling.
And so you can't sit here and say, and like I said, I compare Kevin Knox's rookie season to RJ Barrett's rookie season. And technically, they're almost identical. I think RJ might have had better numbers because RJ took less shots than Kevin Knox did. Because Kevin Knox was just letting it fly his rookie season. Where he didn't have like, Randall and Morris for half of the year and everyone else, to take shots from him. Now Kevin Knox read, pretty much the green light his rookie season.
Yeah, but Steven, to answer your question,
he has to come.
Sorry.
Oh, it's okay. To answer your question from his presser, what all I thought about when he was talking, because I just had flashbacks to that Chicago team. That's what they did. They ran. You miss a shot on them, or they rip you. They're taking off. They're taking off like wild dogs getting let off a chain.
And
wide open. That's how they played. That's how they played. And so that lets me know that Tibbs is like, okay, we're gonna start with the foundation, gonna be defense. But what comes off of good defense? Good defense breeds good offense. It's gonna make your offense easier because, like I said, when you get them steals, that's a layup or alley oop. Hey, let that thing go. It's trouble. So that's what I see, and that's probably why he was smiling. Is because it's the kind of game that he wants to play. I don't think he ever wanted to just play because Fizz. If you think about how Fizz was running that team last year, even though we know it really wasn't a system, we was one of the slowest teams in the league. Steve, what can you get a chance? When you get a chance, can you look up our rate of speed as a team? But I'm pretty sure we was one of the slowest teams in the league. There was a lot of trying to do half court with young guys who weren't taught the game properly. And that's my take on it.
Yeah. The next question during the press conference. I'm sorry. You wanted to say something?
Oh, I was just gonna say, I definitely think the reason why Kevin Knox slumped last year was because of Cody Simon Morris. I think that really messed up his confidence because he got the keys his rookie year. Then the second year, you got a man starting over you. I just think that
he played half the minutes.
So the Knicks ranked 23rd in pace at 109 last year.
Thanks, Guillermo.
23rd out of what? 27 teams? How many
30.
teams? 30?
Wow.
Yeah,
That's bottom.
That's terrible. We not even.
Yes.
That's terrible. And remember, when Fitz took over, he said he wanted to run, but everything was to the contrary.
So we went 17th the year before, but see the year before. All right, well, yeah, we ranked 17th the year before. So
that's crazy that we got slower. But then again, it ain't crazy because we went and got old players.
And you had Randall dribbling the ball up.
Yeah, and you bench your youngsters. You bench your young thoroughbreds.
Yeah. So the next question was: does getting a new coach that is in your corner kind of give you a feel like it's a fresh start? And he said the whole coaching staff and organization has faith in me and have been really pushing me all summer. And the coaches have been reaching out as much as possible, and I'm getting in a lot of work with them. It feels really great to have coaches in an organization that has my back. I want to go out there and prove a lot of people wrong.
Oh, yeah.
That to me, I think, was the most important thing that he said today.
Thank you.
Because it got me thinking that, one, I think Kevin Knox is going to start. Like, I don't think, after hearing that and hearing Tibbs talk yesterday about Kevin Knox, it makes me think like he's either shown. So I mean, granted, we've only had 3 days of actual practices, and if you count the mini camp they had back in, when did they have that mini camp? About a month or two ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, around there.
Kevin Knox is obviously, and mind you, he spent most of this offseason 9 months working with trainers. And that's why I said, people say, oh, RJ Barrett went out and hired his own trainers. Well, Kevin Knox is working with trainers too. It's not like Mr. Robinson, as I pointed out yesterday, it's not like Mr. Robinson in his local gym with his friends playing pickup basketball over the summer. He actually had trainers.
Yeah, but my point was that RJ Barrett did that during the season, right?
But it's almost like Kevin's the forgotten man. That's what it's sounding like. That's what it's looking like. Like people forgot about him.
The NBA is brutal, guys. The NBA is brutal. And when I talk about Kevin Knox, with me, man, maybe it's just me. I grew up like a negative reinforcement guy, and that came from my baseball coach at Bonnie's, right? Like this dude, old Vietnam vet. Had a freaking tumor in his back, smoking cigarettes, were cursing you out. But I mean, when you did good, he gave you praise. But he made sure it was all about discipline. And we were one of the best baseball teams in Brooklyn. So to me, I'm a negative reinforcement guy. If I'm on the worst team and I'm not doing well, right? There's no, I don't have the right coach. No. What are you doing? That's how I look at it. So with Knox, to me, Knox is actually very fortunate to be blessed to have a coach like Tibbs. Many NBA players do not get good coaches. There are a bunch of draft picks who flopped in the NBA because they were unfortunate to get a good coach. This is the thing about Knox. I don't want Knox to be dependent on a coach. I want all the young players that whichever coach comes in here, those guys can excel in. They can excel under any condition, right? They can give you base level production where it's like, I need that guy in my lineup. Not Yeah, I can see Kevin Knox doing good in the system because he does this and this well, and that's why he's going to get playing time. Because let's be honest, if Knox starts off the season, I'm not talking about preseason, I'm talking about starts off the regular season like he did last year, and he falters, and another role player looks better than him. What is the excuse now?
Well, I mean, that's the thing.
That's
It ain't about excuses. It's about facts. And the facts, nobody in here can say that Fizdale coached that team right last year.
The facts are that Knox has talent, right? You got into the NBA, you don't prove that you can do something. Because there are a lot of players in the NBA who did not get good coaches, and they've improved. Grant
But get this though, Guillermo.
From the Hornets his rookie year, right? What coach did who is the coach of the Hornets? It's not Gentry, is it? No, it's not Gentry.
Is it
the Hornets? Clifford? You said the Hornets?
Yeah,
I think
James Burgo.
I don't even know who their coach is.
James Burgo. He was for the Spurs.
Oh,
they fired Steve Clifford.
Yeah, that was a few
Steve
years
Clifford
ago.
was in Orlando.
Oh,
Yeah,
in Orlando.
But he used to be with Jordan and them. He used to be with them when Pat was his assistant. He used to be in Charlotte.
They hired James Burgo the same year that Tony Parker was running the point guard for Charlotte for a year.
But all I'm saying, Guillermo, when we talk about Knox, the guy showed that first year that he's an NBA player. You see what I'm saying? To have that precipitous drop off from year one to year two, if you just looked at those numbers, you didn't watch none of the Knicks games. You just looked at the numbers from year one to year two, and in anybody's mind, they have to be like, something happened. What happened?
Exactly.
And it's obvious what happened. They no longer trusted him, and Fizdale told a bunch of lies. Let's be real. He told a bunch of lies, like you're gonna earn your position. That wasn't true. He held certain players to different standards.
I agree.
Mook, Randall, them guys could make the same mistake that Knox would make or Frank would make, and he would yank Frank and Knox quicker than your head would spin. So that's why. So what you said?
Players. He still got 17.8 minutes.
Yeah.
I remember Frank got.
But what you said speaks volumes. Coaches will end players' career. Depends on who you fall with. And so Knox, like you said, to your point, Guillermo, he better be very thankful that he got Tibbs, or the narrative would have been written on him saying that he's this bust when coaching had a lot to do with it. Because I can't take away 12 points a game as a rookie coming into the league. I can't take that away. But that last year, based on the coach that he had, I can give him a clean slate.
Ron,
I can give him a clean slate.
I got a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Is it possible that Marcus Morris just said, "Hey, listen, I'm definitely starting," and possibly was possibly Fizz couldn't control strong personalities in the Knicks locker room?
Well, you know what? That second part of your question is a good point, because it seemed like the only people he ever really came down on was the youngsters. He didn't come down on them vets like he should have. And let's be real. What was Marcus Morris' contract? Was it a 2-year deal or a 1-year deal?
I think it was 1 year.
1 year. 1 year. So they had to make some kind of promise for him to come here and sign. We don't know what all went on at the negotiating table, but it had to be some kind of promise, because he came in and basically just took Knox's spot. So that just looks like in itself.
He overperformed versus Knox. Because by November, Knox was averaging 6 points. He went down from October, which is only 5 games, but went from 12 points a game, 52.4% from 3, to November, where it was 6.2 points, 31%.
But out
the gate, though, Guillermo. Right out the gate, Kevin Knox wasn't starting. That's my problem. As Kevin alluded to last night,
right,
that's my problem.
Didn't Knox get play earlier? Didn't he get?
He wasn't starting.
No, Kevin Knox did not go into the season
gate
as a starter.
Yeah,
he never came in as a starter. Never came in as a starter.
Like I said last night. So Kevin Knox, like any rookie who starts and has a lot of minutes, goes in, and you remember when they drafted RJ, he was like, "I'm going to take RJ in my wing." Da 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 da. In his mind, Kevin Knox is like, "Well, I've been the starter. I should continue to be the starter." His mindset was, I'm the starter going in.
Exactly.
So training camp starts, and they got Marcus Morris in here, okay. And then Fizdale was like, "Oh well, let me take this back." Steve Mills was like, "Well, this team's going to make the playoffs. I guarantee it." And so that, I guess, put some kind of mandate on David Fields that are going in, like, okay, let me go ahead and play these veterans and ride with them. Although we all know how that turned out, how it ended up. So I'm Kevin Knox. I'm thinking, okay, I had a good year. I don't think that I did anything wrong because nobody has communicated to me that I did anything wrong.
Kevin, to illustrate the point,
Put me on the bench.
in his rookie year, he started 57 games. Last year, he started 4.
Wow.
Also, I want to add to that. You know, Marcus Morris was backing up Jason Tatum, and he got hot at the second half. So it's possible that Marcus Morris, you know, in practice was like, hey, man, this guy's no Jason Tatum. I played behind Jason Tatum, and Kevin Knox is no Jason Tatum. I deserve to start over him. You know, this guy isn't that good, and this, that, and the third. I mean, he put a couple of slandering here and there, and you know, politics could have gotten involved.
I mean, that's conjecture. We don't really know.
I'm just trying to put that. I'm just trying to create a context. Like, it's
the
no
only
way
thing
possible. It's no way possible you could start 50 something games year 1 and year 2. You only start 4.
And the thing is, to your point,
But
it
minutes
wasn't
per minute.
justifiable. That's the thing. It was not justifiable based off the season the guy had just had.
Thank you.
12.8 points, almost 5 rebounds, and then the next year we're gonna put you on the bench. Nobody can justify that to me.
But see, this is the thing about it, right? The NBA is extremely unfair, regardless, right? And minutes are minutes. You still got 7.8 minutes a game, right? So when you come in, you still got to kill. Because look, even if they get rid of you, make it so that you're attracted to another team.
I want someone to pull up a stat and name me another rookie who put up double-digit points, and then the next year got his minutes and shots dramatically cut in half.
Bench woman.
I guarantee that does not happen.
Yeah. Trendy, you want to take it?
That is not development in any organization.
Double digits your first year.
No one's giving credit to the Knicks for being developed. I'm giving them no credit. But the thing about it is that for Knox, to me, that even when, again, because the NBA is very unfair, and we're talking about 2 different regimes, right? You in the minutes that you get, and to me, my biggest qualms with Knox were not even points. It was that when he was on the floor, other things like rebounding, defense, focus were not there. Right, I understand. Fizzo was a trash coach,
and I can't defend that. I agree
I'm not giving them. I'm not. If we're gonna have the excuse that Knox did not get, or any of these guys did not get development, I'm going with that 100%. But again, the NBA is unfair. It is not about we're gonna look at the context with which you blah blah blah. It's about who are you and what have you done for me lately. That's it.
You're right about that. They're always looking to replace you.
That's what I'm saying with Knox is that some of Knox's faux pas, they look so bad. They just some of his lows were very low, right? And that's the thing about Knox. You have to be like even killed, right? This is why I say with RJ Barrett. Say what you want about RJ Barrett with percentiles. He ranked low last in that. He had a negative 0.5 win share, whatever, blah, blah. But you can work with his game because he was aggressive and he showed you what he could do, what he's working on doing, and you never felt like his focus wavered. Versus Knox, you have to get a lot of things in place, right? To get him comfortable, to get him to that position. It takes a lot more for a coach and a system. Again, he's very lucky if Thibodeau starts him pushing. But again, if Thibodeau starts him and he doesn't show out, again, they're veterans. And again, Thibodeau likes veterans. So I'm not sure if Knox is starting, even at the so-called 3, where I guess there's somewhat of a space for him to play there versus the 4, obviously Obi and Randall and MKG. But I doubt MKG is going to make the roster. But Knox had to show out. Or the next time, if another Marcus Morris comes in, there'll really be no excuse. It's like, hey, we gave you the starting position, or we gave you the minutes, and you didn't show out.
So, Graham, I'm gonna ask you this.
Meritocracy.
Here's the thing.
Hey, 1 second. Let's give Trendy a second.
Okay.
Trendy?
Knox, no, y'all good, really. I agree with all y'all. I really think that Knox it was the confidence shot. Like that whole. First of all, what the man said that you can't find a man that had double digits his rookie year and then just doesn't start. Like that doesn't happen. That never happens to any other team. I feel like we're the only team that will ever do that. It just doesn't make sense.
This is where I'm coming from, I guess, to say that you can't sit here and say you don't know if Knox is starting when Tom Thibodeau basically came out and said, "You're," and I believe I believe Tom Thibodeau way more than I believe David Fizdale when he says you're gonna earn your minutes and it starts with practice.
True.
When Tom Thibodeau has come out and said Kevin Knox has looked really, really good in practice, and so that means he is earning his spot, regardless of whether some of us fans want to believe it or not. We're not in the gym with them in practice. So if it starts with practice, as Tom Thibodeau says, and your play in practice will merit you playing time, and then he comes in and says Kevin Knox has looked really, really good in practice, why is there still doubt that he's looking bad?
I've heard coaches not me personally, but I've heard coaches all my life say, this guy looked really good in practice. Come to the rubber.
Hold on. Do you think that Tom Thibodeau is? You think Tom Thibodeau is taking a spin here?
No.
I think he's a straight shooter as they come.
We have no idea. Again, because first of all, this same Tom Thibodeau that had to, he lost the locker room with the Timberwolves, right? So we don't know how he's moving. Maybe sometimes being that brash and open, sometimes backfires, right? So again, until I see it on the court, everything they're saying here, I'm taking it with a grain of salt. I don't know. Okay, look good. Tom Thibodeau could be the same guy. Hey, he looked really good in practice, but I feel comfortable going with this guy. He might say in the last practice and say, hey, but he's going to get major minutes. I've seen it happen all the time. Forget Fizz. I've seen it in baseball. I've seen it in so many sports where it's like, this guy looks good in practice. This guy looks good in the preseason. But we're going to go with the last preseason game. We're going to go with this guy. So I'm just saying, I'm not saying he's lying, but they can position a certain way. And again, he's a confidence guy because he never directly said he got the starting job. He said, you're going to work based off of merit ball or you're going to get it based off of merit. So
here's the thing about that.
He could be trying to build up his confidence and say, hey, he had a good practice. Let's just move. Let's keep going with that. Let's try to see.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
Tom Thibodeau hasn't said anybody is starting right now.
Right.
So here's the thing about that also. Kevin, and it's not even what he said. And if you look at his interview yesterday, is how he looked when he said it. Because the whole interview, he was as stoic as can possibly be. But when they brought up Kevin Knox, you could see he got. I'm trying to think of the right word.
He got excited.
Like he got surprised. Like, yeah, Kevin Knox has really surprised me so far. That's something that you can't fake. Is his reaction.
Hey, and let's
you can fake reactions. Shut you can fake.
Let's take a look at this.
I'm hoping. You gonna call me a hater? Why would I hate on Knox? He's our Knicks player. Guys, I'm not just. I don't follow players. I follow teams. Right. If you're not my Knicks team, I don't care about you. Right. If you're on my Knicks team, I care about you. So if Knox is doing this, it's just that I'm a Knicks fan. We all Knicks fans. We've seen guys come here. Lie to us about this and that. Oh, this space is going to be blah, blah, right? Not to say teams not going to be different.
Because you got people who love to cap, bro. These people love capping for Frank and all this stuff. Let's give him 30 minutes. Let's give Knox 40 minutes. But they want to give. I'm telling you, they probably spoil the kids. They don't want the competition. This is competition every single day.
Let's analyze the information,
bro. This is competition. You got to be fighting the minute you become a ball player. It's competition at all times. Since high school, college, you always in competition. That's what you signed up for.
So what we trying to do, right? We trying to read.
I'm sorry, a great segue to that last question that they asked of him, and Guillermo touched on this instinctively. Has Coach Tibbs told you what he expects of you this year? And his answer was, he really just wants me to be aggressive and rebound the ball defensively, be able to push the break and make plays, knock down open shots, and be aggressive getting to the basket. Being aggressive and being in top shape is the main message. Take it, fellas.
I got that feeling. Can't go this year.
What did you say? What did you say, Trendy Shaq?
I said, Kev. I think I got that feeling Kev gonna hoop this year. Like I just got that weird feeling.
Oh, okay.
Kev gonna really
a lot of people saying that. A lot of people are saying that too. A lot of people are saying that. But
I want to see the post-up game. I want to see Friday. I want to see him in the post 3 or 4 times. I want him to showcase what he's learned, man. Because again, people talking about look. We've seen Frank, we've seen Mitch, we've seen all these guys do all these summer workouts. Yo, DJ, oh yeah, man. Yo, I worked with Chris Paul and they show videos of him improving his jump shot. He comes in. So his stepmother died. He had the back issues. I'm not saying that's not a factor, but the form of his shot, it went back to what it was before. So I'm waiting. I'm not a conjecture guy anymore with the Knicks. I used to get hyped at times when we drafted, was it Nate Robinson, David Lee, and freaking Channing Frye. I thought that was going to be something when I was younger. That didn't amount to jack-ish back in there. So maybe I'm scoring, but I just want to see the product on the court before I prematurely anoint anybody and say, oh, this guy's going to do it because
well said.
This coach said this. Bro, these coaches say things all the time. And I'm not saying Tibbs is not more honest or more forthright than other coaches, right? He could be. But again, I've seen from guys who have been way more esteemed or held in the higher positions than him in people's eyes, and they've lied and said, I mean, Bill Belichick, that guy, he's giving people signals is like, wait, why would you do that? Like when he didn't start, who's the cornerback was the Titans now? They're the superhero.
Malcolm Butler.
Malcolm Butler. Yeah, it's just like, you're like, wait, why didn't you start him? And it's like these vague reasons, stuff like that. You think it's like, Bill Belichick's one of the greatest football coaches of all time. So to me, I'm just waiting to what we see on the court. Now with Knox, I'm hoping that's the reason, but now everything's gonna be put on Knox. Like, hey, if they put him in a position to succeed and he doesn't,
well,
but here's I want to say, truth be told though, like if you look at Knox's number of rookie year, he wasn't very efficient. And Knox is a type of person, he shows out on summer league. He's a great summer league player. Like I wish, he's one of the best ever at summer league. But I'm not trying to. Let's just call it for what it is, though. Like, let's talk about you want to watch a good Knox game. Go watch your summer league games, and you'll have a great time.
He came out guys in Europe that were great in the summer league.
Yeah, but on summer league, that's his so far where he dominates and where you see his talent and you see all kinds of parts of his game. But in the NBA, he struggles mightily, and that's okay. But listen, you can't struggle in the NBA. And then when you get benched, you can't be mad that you get benched when you're shooting 39%, 38% from the field. Like you can't expect to start no more. Like at that point.
Okay, well, let me add something to this thing, man.
Mm-hmm.
See, I'm one of them people that I'm gonna tell you like this here, Moses. I'm gonna tell you like this. I'm an attention to detail guy.
Guys,
you're looking at an ex-soldier, a ground pounder, infantry soldier. Ain't no play with me.
Okay.
Went to Somalia and came home. You heard me? So let me tell you like this, man. I'm looking at what's being reported, what's being said. I'm not going off no he said, she said, nothing nobody else saying in this chat. I'm going by what's being reported. And if the coach is saying, I'm impressed with this guy, he's vouching for this guy, he's vouching for this guy's shooting. He even talked about his shooting, saying how good Kev shoots the ball. That's all I can take. And then when I look at the fact the coach says we're going to run, who that favors, and then the coach comes out his own mouth and say with the young guys that favors them with running. So this team is loaded with young guys. You need to pay attention to detail.
What's that?
Attention. A lot of people dead because they don't pay attention to detail. So that's what I'm telling you. Too much attention to detail. That's letting me know right now what. If I was a betting man, I'll go back to that. If I was a betting man on what Tibbs is saying right now, it looks good for Kevin Knox.
I agree.
Period.
I can't disagree with you.
I don't care what anybody's saying, but what he played like last year, or none of that.
No, I agree with you
right now, because them coaches if we could be having this argument if them same coaches was here. If Fizdale and them guys was here, then we know Kev wouldn't be on the floor. But this new regime come in, we can't keep holding last year against these guys. Even the coach said it himself. He said, I don't care about what you did last year. The slate is clean. So why we keep going back about what Kevin did last year? Let's talk about what's going on currently right now.
I agree. I think we all agree with you now. This so far, and what I like about Tibbs, he's not a biased person. He's not with this whole youth movement thing. He doesn't favor youth movement or veterans. He's just keeping it honest. And I like that. So I like that.
Well, you heard what he said, though, right, God? You heard he said that. I think it was the first interview. He said that, know, about the veterans that they understand things quicker and blah blah. Then he said, the rookies and young guys.
Oh, right.
good for athleticism. So
quicker traits.
Again, this goes to the whole thing that we don't know what these guys are truly going to do, because everyone knows Tibbs likes veterans. His first interview, he says that, and then he's talking about this Knox thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then we're trying to make connections, say, oh, I really feel he might start. No, Thibodeau is what he is. He's trying to implement a system. I think he's going to provide or put in some triangle looks, probably not more than 25% like he did with the Bulls. He only ran triangle 25% of his time with the Bulls, but he's going to have some type of system that does take some learning. And the funniest thing is that with Knox, to me, it's not necessarily with Knox starting. It's him being effective when he's on the court. Because if Knox starts, doesn't understand the system, he's out, right? But
you said it yourself.
If he's behind somebody, right, and he's developing the system, and he comes in and he executes it better than them, right, in a triangle, right? And he's on a strong side. Say he runs that corner roll way better than whoever you play at 3, right? Then now, okay, Knox is justified for himself to start. So it's not about him starting. It's about how effective and how well is he getting the system.
So let me
and developing, and he's developing as well doing that.
I'm gonna ask you and Moses. I want everybody to answer this question really. So if the starting rotation comes out from Tibbs and Knox is in the starter, what you got to say? What everybody got to say? Take your time.
Congratulations. If he gets a starting position, congratulations. Like, that was well earned. You got to congratulate him for that.
What we got to see? What's our expectation?
What would you say? If they gave Knox the starting position,
it's about time.
He got to hit his open shots. Hit his open shots, and he got to play better defense. That's just for me. He got to hit his open shots and play better defense.
Is it go ahead, Steven. Go ahead.
Our MBK family, I just recommend you check out Ron's video, and I think on Kevin Knox, and I think one of the key things that you kept talking about was being selective in his shots. If we're I'm
gonna read the quote from Tibbs yesterday again.
Yeah, read it,
please.
He's had 2 really good days of practice so far. When Kevin Knox takes good shots, he's going to make them. He's put a lot of time into his shooting. He's gotten stronger. He's got to continue to work, and if he does that, Kevin Knox will be fine.
Good, that's good.
Straight from the horse's mouth.
And then you heard what he said. Then you heard what he said about his shot so far. It wasn't a problem. It was more his shot selection. It wasn't the technique. It was shot selection or confidence. It wasn't confidence or he said it was the shot selection. And we all can agree. His shot selection was bad, Guillermo. I'm with you on that, man. Coming in the lane, not going up strong, frailing. You know, I touched on all that, man. You have to have your feet set as a shooter. If you're a shooter, your balance is everything when you're shooting the ball.
How about we just wait till the season starts and see? Because these quotes to me, they don't mean nothing. Like,
come on, Guillermo, man.
People think I'm hating on Knox, and I'm trying to say it's easy. There's someone in the chat saying I'm thinking basketball. I've never once said that basketball to me or these guys that I could do it. No, these guys are superhumans, right? I look at them as superhumans.
Elite.
In the context of everything, Knox was a struggling player on the worst basketball team. That doesn't spell a recipe for, hey, we're going to give you a really big contract when your rookie season's up. That means if he continues this way, right? It's like, you
got to prove it.
So we're going to move on. That's all. Look, if I didn't care about Knox or about these young players, I'd be saying, well, I don't give a damn about. I didn't care about Wayne Ellington. No, Wayne Ellington could do whatever the hell he wants.
He should have never even been on the team.
But with Knox, I see that Knox can be talented. Go back. I think you can find it at NBAstats.com because I did a video on this like a while ago. I think Knox's rookie season shot like 40% from 3 with the defender like close to him, not very tight, but like close to him. And that's skill. That's where I can shoot in your face and you can't stop me, right? I'm looking at Knox. Knox is a talented player, but the talent is not shining through right now. Whether it's because of bad development, I agree that's one thing, but also on himself too. When he was in games, there were times like this. Trey came into games. Trey got really nothing in terms of playing time compared to.
They treated him wrong. They definitely treated him wrong.
And Trey came in like a microwave. We'd be down by 20. Next thing you know, 3 minutes have passed. We're only down by 11 points.
He's gonna jack him up.
But hold on. For
he's a volume shooter.
But Trey averaged 44% from his rookie year. That's nothing to sneeze at. For what he was asked to do, Ron, he did it. How can you complain about what Trey? You asked Trey to come in and be your microwave scorer. he did that.
Oh no, I ain't complaining. I ain't complaining about Trey.
Hold on.
Minutes of Knox. I don't know if he
Hold
got 4 minutes of Knox. I could be wrong, but
Trey was our Lou Will.
The thing
Yeah,
about Trey
I agree.
is
Perfect.
people and us as Knicks fans, we have and this goes for everybody. We have this thing of building our players up. If Alonzo Trier was as good as we think he is, why is he not on an NBA roster right now?
That could be. Hey, that could be politics. I have no idea.
I think with him,
with Dolan's girls or something.
There's 29 other teams.
Legion, I'm with you, man. I think it's something bigger than we know with him because it didn't make no sense. It didn't make any sense.
Is he getting blackball-wise, Kevin?
Something,
you know that.
Something's happened behind the scenes because basketball is all about relationships.
Moody ain't got a job over. Moody ain't got it. I think Vonleh's on the team.
Yeah, Vonleh is on the team.
There's too many scouts.
He went home to the
scouts and everything that look for people. There's 29 other teams. He's gonna tell me he can't get a roster spot.
But this was
29 other teams.
This was a malcontent. This was a guy who got into issues with THC. This is also a guy who got caught for using PEDs back in college. So it could be an attitude, integrity thing with it. I don't know what it is. Yeah. But it has to be some behind it. It ain't talent.
What's up, Rob?
What's
up?
Yo, Rob, salute, bro.
Yeah.
Salute.
What's good?
He wanted the locker room, bro.
Mm-hmm. Hey, you need to cut it out. You need to cut it out. Who, me? You need to cut it out.
Who, me?
Yeah, you need to cut it out.
Why do I need to cut it out? What did I say bad about Knox?
Look, we all know what the deal was last year with Kevin Knox. We all know. You know.
Right.
You
explain it to us.
What was the deal? Yeah, what was the deal?
Hold on. Explain it to us.
Hey, look, everything fall on the coaching. Everything. You're gonna tell this
big dog.
Look,
it was big dog.
I thought it was Randall's fault.
Hey, look, check this out. This is when the season fell apart yesterday. Last year. Look, this is when they drafted those power forwards, and that man, when Mills stepped up there and said this was a playoff team, that knocked Knox out the box right then and there. Knox was done then. It wasn't nothing else Knox can do once Mills stepped up there and said that this was a playoff team because you knew who he was going to play.
Hold on. Yo, Freezy, can you let State is asking to come in, Freezy, if you can hear this.
Hey, let me just say this one point to back up Guillermo's point to you, Rob. Last year, Knox, when he had a defender from 0 to 2 feet, very tight, he shot 21%. So what the hell? What's a coach have to do with that?
Hey, look, this is beyond that. This is beyond this. You had a first-year player that gave you 12 a game, and then you hired all these positions at his spot. And then you done said into the New York media, you threw Fizdale under the bus, you threw the team under the bus, you did everything. That's how come he got fired. If you really want to look at why Mills got fired, when he stood up there and he made that statement, this was a playoff team, that means as though you took the young boys out the equation. You took everybody out the equation.
When Knox was in the game,
Rob, let me just say that. Rob, real quick.
Hey, don't try and talk over each other. Everybody can sing together.
Hold on, let me say this to Rob.
Look, it's beyond the game then, because I'm a first. Now listen. I'm a first-year player. My confidence was boosted up the whole summer, and then soon as the season starts, you just shut me down, and I get sparing minutes. I may play 3 games, and then I don't play for a week.
Rob,
and
let me ask.
This is.
Hold on, Mark. Let me say this.
Let me make this point first.
Okay.
And then you playing me like that. You playing my whole rookie class like that. You played me like that. You played Frank like that. And all you played was these old school cats who still didn't get you to the playoffs. Mm-hmm. You still didn't get to the playoffs. All you did was fracture confidence for that whole year. Now
you're making this seem like I'm justifying bad coaching. I'm not justifying the bad coaching. Again, Knox got minutes. I'm not saying he got a lot of minutes. I'm not saying that. And I'm not saying the development on the team was good. Do not confuse me saying that Knox still has to show and prove with the team had good coaching or good development. They did not. Since when Fizz was hired, I got killed for saying I did not like the hire. When I said, we could have won for half year, I got killed. Right, but now everybody, Fizzo's. I seen Fizzo wasn't a good coach for this team, right? I already think Fizzo's not a good coach. And when I talk about Knox, I'm not just talking about offense. Offense. I said his offense will come, right? But there's times he got in, he did not forget development and stuff, right? Defending your man, he was one of the worst against the picks or in the pick and roll, pick and pop, whatever. If a screen was sent his way, he was still bad. And the only time he did good, according to the Strickland, was when he had Frank or Dotson, a defensive guard in front of him, right? So that's where that stats for the blocks, whatever comes in, right? But the thing was not, again, he got minutes, right? And then the times he got minutes, I'm not saying he was 60% from three and scored 20. I'm not saying that. But he still looked bad in other aspects of his game. That's all I'm saying.
They all look bad.
It's brutal.
He looked bad at times. But you don't speak about
Let's not
him.
talk over each other.
I'm sorry.
You don't never speak about RJ. That's what I'm really killing you for. You'll kill Frank. You'll kill Knox. But you never speak about these free throws that RJ don't hit.
I did. What are you talking about? Don't listen. I said if RJ increases free throw percentage, what is it, 61.4%? If he improved that to 75%, he'd probably at 20 points or better, right?
He's still going to the hoop too.
Hold on. Let me ask this question.
RJ Barrett, because you see, this is Rob the Knick. Rob the Knick literally said that RJ Barrett did not deserve to be on the all-rookie NBA team because of his.
I can see why he didn't make it.
Terrence Davis
say that the person that made it didn't make it. I can see why. If you shooting 61% from the free throw line and you getting the ball most of the time, I can see why. And when you look for when you look for a player at his position, you couldn't find one that shoots that bad.
Ben Simmons made the all-rookie team, right?
Yeah, but Ben Simmons that's a triple-double, though.
No, listen to Guillermo's point here. He's making a great
Ben Simmons made the all-rookie team, right? Because this is what we do, right? You want to use that BS point, right? But that's from ESPN and these clown A writers who don't know what the hell they're talking about.
That was my point of view.
Not you. I'm not saying you, but they're saying Terrence Davis had more impactful shots. Yeah, because he's playing on a playoff team. So he can play in the role and do that. RJ Barrett, I'm not saying have to carry the team. But he was probably one of the outside of Randall. Most important on RJ Barrett's level, right? So when I talk about RJ Barrett, I talk about RJ Barrett shooting. The thing about RJ Barrett, when you look at RJ Barrett, I don't have a lack of confidence that he's not working on his game, right? Or that he's not going to try to get better. With Knox, it's a confidence
thing.
thing.
Knox is not working on his game?
I'm not saying he's not working on his game. The thing with Knox, you have to during the season. Hold
on. But what's the difference between working on your game in the season and working on your game for 9 months that you've been off? He's been off for 9 months.
And he came in shape.
Hold on. You just said RJ Barrett.
I'm trying to clarify. I'm talking about
RJ Barrett works on his game during the season, like that's supposed to be something great.
Yeah, it was because when he came off the ankle injury, his numbers were looking better. What are you talking about?
I'm
talking about during the summer.
Second state before you take over, just everyone. Please hit that like button. Let's support Freezy. Please hit that like button. Hit that subscribe and that bell. Let's take care of our guy Freezy. State, it's yours.
You making me laugh.
Yeah, because you're emotional.
You know who Keldon Johnson played for, right? The Spurs.
Kevin Johnson?
Keldon Johnson. He plays for the Spurs. Right? He looks good. He looks better than Knox, right? He didn't play better than Knox in college. The reason why he looks better than Knox? Because of coaching. Coaching really matters, Gamo. It's like you ignore the fact that I had to watch Reggie Bullock go through pin down screens to get mid-range jump shots. And I had to watch Kevin Knox stand in the corner a lot and playing off of Julius Randle and Alfred Payton. So you want Knox to be good, but then you want him to take the bull by the horn and say F what Fizdale is telling me to do, because it's probably coaching that's telling him to go in the corner. It's probably either coaching or is he not aggressive? If he's aggressive enough, right? He's saying that he's not aggressive. Why are they not running plays for him? Like, why are they not running sets for him? Why am I watching Wayne Ellington come around a loop screen or a curl screen? Like, why am I not watching?
I've seen Knox flare out to the right, so that's definitely not true. And there have been also times where he's driving or trying to drive, and he had the opportunity to post, where it's not taking out a play. He really has a ball. He's down low against his man, and he drives to his right versus trying to post.
He's never been a post player, though.
Doesn't matter.
He's been a finesse player.
That is the whole point about trying to develop something during the season. Again, you guys have this, not all you guys, some of you guys have this fairy tale vision about the NBA, right? I am not saying the coaching was good on the Knicks. It was trash. Fizdale, trash. Mike Miller, trash. Hornacek, trash. Phil Jackson, trash. In the NBA, you could go your whole career putting up numbers without ever having a good coach. You are not promised a good coach in the NBA. So what I'm trying to say is that with the little opportunities you have to try to, it sounds harsh. I understand. I'm not saying that it's not a harsh reality, but you cannot, it's a dog-eat-dog world. Right.
But somebody put
let me just say this one thing to him.
Put the ball in that pan.
Julius Randle knows that. Julius Randle knows that it's a dog world.
Fellas, though, seriously, you can't undersell coaching because everybody don't come in the league as a superstar. Everybody don't come in and can light stuff up. Some people develop later in their career. If you got coaches that can't develop.
Ron, did I say coaching? Did I just say right now that coaching is not guaranteed? That coaching is important. That these
you blaming Knox, and that's understandable. Like I respect that opinion. If you saying this on Knox as well to become a better player,
right.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Hold on. Here's the question, Guillermo. Why do you feel like Kevin Knox isn't trying to be a better basketball player?
Yeah, great question, Kev.
Thank you.
Well, it's either two things, right? It's either Kevin Knox is trying to,
but what doesn't because everything you're saying is how he looks on the court. But every single coach, from Mike Miller to John Calipari, has always said Kevin Knox is a gym rat. Kevin Knox is always in the gym trying to work to get better. If Kevin Knox just wasn't doing nothing, because there's this whole thing that he just plays Fortnite all the time. But every time I look around, all the coaches say he's the first in the gym. He's
I've heard you say that multiple times too.
You know what's scary about that, Kevin? You know what's scary about that? If you're a gym rat and you're not getting better, maybe you're not good enough.
What do you mean? Wait, hold on. He didn't.
You're a gym rat. You're doing all this development and you're not getting better on the increments. I'm not saying that again. In theory, if you're not getting better, right?
Then he looked like he was getting better.
I'm not sure I can disagree.
Well, ask you guys a question. If we could do the draft again, are you drafting Kevin Knox? Okay, so stop capping.
You can't say that.
Are you drafting Kevin Knox?
Come on now. You can't do that. You know why that's not fair? Because the Knicks had the worst coaching in the past 5 years. Come on now. That's not
God, this is me. This is me. You know, not to say Kevin Knox, right? So let me pick another draft. Like, say, like, if, like, you know, I love Ja Morant, right?
Yes.
You can make my grandmother, right, the coach of the Knicks. I'm picking Ja Morant. I don't give a damn because I'm
right. And he balling out. He's balling out.
He's not balling.
Okay, State. Just ask me this yes or no question. No.
Come on, you know the answer to that. You know the answer to that obvious question. Come on now.
Are you drafting Kevin Knox if you had to do the pick again? That's all I'm asking.
Ask me that question.
You already answered it.
No. I can answer it now.
You already answered it. It's already answered, man. You already answered it.
You can't answer that question. You can't answer that question right now. It's too early.
Hold on. One at a time.
Based on his rookie season and the bad coaching staff in season 2, I'll draft him. No question.
Okay. Over SGA McCalbury. Okay, fair enough.
SGA.
Hold on. Let me say something.
He's hesitating. Rob he just took it back right now. Rob just literally just took it back right now.
Let me say something.
I said I'll draft him.
Let me say something. Let's go back to the pre-draft workouts when the Knicks had Knox, Miles, and Mikal Bridges in.
And he was playing
against Scott Perry said, beat these two dudes and we'll pick you.
Yeah.
So clearly at that point in time, Kevin Knox is better than Miles and Mikal Bridges.
Absolutely. If you go into another from the NFL draft, Mike Mamula drafted by the Eagles, right? Vernon Golson drafted by the Jets. If you go into a draft workout and you're impressed to change your pick on that player, that means you didn't do proper scouting. right?
Correct.
Game film. Ashlon Jeffrey. I remember the Jets had a choice between Ashlon Jeffrey and Steven something. Damn, I can't remember his name. Wide receiver from Georgia Tech. Stephen Hill. Jets could have had
We will
Ashlon
not
Jeffrey
speak
from
that
South
name against
Carolina,
Stephen Fox.
and they got allegedly the Jets got convinced by the dude's speed at the combine versus taking Alshon Jeffrey, who wasn't the fastest, but had hands of gold. And Alshon Jeffrey, I understand now he's older now, but he had an accomplished career with the Eagles, I think the Bears, a whole bunch of guys. He would have been great for that Jets team in 2011, 2012, whenever he was drafted, right? If you go into a draft and you're convinced, again, you could go on any day and any given prospect could look really good on any given day. That means that your front office has not been doing proper scouting. Those combines and stuff are just to say, hey, this guy's healthy, or there's no lingering injury, or something, blah, 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 right? But if you go in and he beat Miles Bridges, all these guys, that's your front office mess up. And I'm waiting for the rest of you guys because Rob gave me his answer, but you know he took a big swig of water after he said that.
I didn't think if you was talking about Kevin Knox. I didn't think if you was talking about in this year's draft, but in the draft year that he got drafted, I'll draft him again because his first year was solid. Bad coach in the second year, and here we are in year 3.
Hold on, and you will put your job on the line to draft Kevin Knox, or you will draft somebody else?
No, I'll draft Knox.
Right now, I would draft Knox.
Ain't nobody said that was a bad pick for the Knicks.
I'm not 100% sure.
The only thing that give me cause to pause is Michael Porter Jr., but the back injury is scary. And I'm still thinking Knox. I'm still taking Knox.
Hold on, say. You're not taking SGA?
Hold on.
He don't really. His game don't really. He don't. My personal opinion. He played with Chris Paul, and his game don't really excite me like that. That's just me. I don't know. I don't know. I need a young wing. Judge Knox, like I said, come back to me 3 months when he's under Thibodeau. And we can ask that question again. And that question going to be really different.
It's going to be answered.
This is the thing about SGA that I was saying about SGA, right? And I'm not saying he's had relatively better coaching than Knox. I had relatively better coaching than Knox. I didn't even have a coach. I wasn't even in the NBA.
Yes, he had Doc Rivers.
SGA's been on 2 teams, right? And honestly, he did play with Chris Paul, right?
Yes.
But again, he's been kind of he was regarded as like, all right, kind of fought like trade fraud. Get him out of it. The OKC Thunder had a 4% chance to get in the playoffs. They do. A lot of backs of Chris Paul, but SGA was a major contributor, right? Had Billy Donovan, right? He got fired. I guess he wasn't a good coach. I'm not saying it's comparable to Knox, but this is what I'm saying with certain players that they're in situations where everything is fluid, things are moving around. They're not really entrenched anywhere, and yet they still produce. And again, he played with Chris Paul. He played with some talent.
So SGA averaging 20 this year. That's what you're saying to me.
No. I'm not saying that, but what I'm saying with Knox, when I talk about Knox, I don't even think about the points. I hate thinking about the points. I'm looking at Knox, and he's too emotionally affected. Where if he's not shooting well, I've seen games where Knox has come in 24 minutes, 5 points, right? But then his defense also suffered. Right, his focus also suffered. Those are things that cannot waver. Your shot is going to go. I'm confident Knox is going to hit a shot. I have no problem. I agree with you guys. I think his shot is going to fall. I'm not one of those people that thinks that blah blah. Right? I'm not always people like, oh, he has to develop. I do think he has to develop a post game, but his offense, fine with. Other things.
Can I say something? Let me right quick.
Right, knowing where your man is. Those things are important. That means that this dude emotionally is not going to get. You want to talk about RJ Barrett? The reason why with RJ Barrett, I've seen where RJ Barrett's had bad games, right? But he's still working hard on the defensive end. He's still focused on the game. He's still trying to play within the play. Yes, I have.
I strongly disagree. I just seen RJ get killed.
One at a time.
That's not to say RJ Barrett does not have bad games. He's had plenty of them, right? Okay. When I'm looking at RJ Barrett, I do not see a guy who's as emotionally affected on the floor. Where's the floor from?
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest.
You guys wouldn't even draft Knox. Y'all talking about?
Hold on. Another thing about.
Bro, I thought about it and I said I'll take Knox. I thought about it. I said I'll take Knox. Yeah, I said it. Yeah, I did.
When I brought up SGA, you started. Right? When I brought up SGA, you started. Like,
ask me that question in 3 months. Didn't I say that to your question? Did I say that? I said ask me in 3 months. Because garbage coaching equals garbage results. That's what you got. Come on. The same garbage you spewing about Knox, I can spew that about Randall. I can spew that about DJ.
No. Hate on Randall.
All of these dudes get the same shit.
Am I Randall? Wait, hold on.
Again, here you go. You capping again on Randall.
Hold on.
You should have said somebody else. You leave Randall alone. You capping again, man.
Randall, don't get me started on Randall. He's 25 and he should know how to pass out of the double team.
Hold on.
Coach needs to help him too.
Hold on, let me
I literally.
Hold on, everybody.
You kidding about DSJ, right? I criticize all these guys. I criticize Randall. I said DSJ needs to go back to the G or go to the G League. So why do you think I favor any player?
DSJ should go to China.
If someone comes in playing better than RJ Barrett, then RJ Barrett has to.
You might as well admit it.
Stay. Just argue with Guillermo about Kevin Knox. Leave Randall alone. You capping over here, man. Leave Randall alone. You capping extra over here.
I said Knox and Randall got the same excuse. They both had that.
Leave Randall alone. Talk with Knox. Talk it over there. Talk with Guillermo over there.
Oh, you protecting that 19 and 9 empty stack. You capping Randall. Garbage, man.
Here's the thing.
Getting out that trash.
Kevin Wright.
Defense, Kevin Knox. Kevin Knox has no defense. So let it go.
Randall played 1,000 more minutes and got less blocks than Kevin.
He's productive. He deserves it because he's productive.
Hey, hold on. Time out. We want everyone to have the best experience listening. We're talking over each other. Come on, one at a time.
So let me point this out. I think everyone in here can agree that David Fizdale was horrible on about everything. I think everyone can agree with that. I think we can agree that David Fizdale did not put his players in the best position to succeed.
Agreed.
Regardless of the numbers that Julius Randle might have had, I still don't think that he was put in the best position for him to succeed because there was no accountability with David Fizdale.
Agreed.
Now, with Tom Thibodeau, there will be accountability.
Yes, sir.
So let's say a lot of the stuff that we saw last year was just bad basketball will not be what we see. We might lose the game. It won't be because of lack of attention to detail. It won't be because of boneheaded mistakes. Because Tom Thibodeau will cut that out because we know that he's going to hold these players accountable.
If Randall ain't going hard the ball.
If Knox's man gets behind him.
One at a time.
If Knox's man gets behind him, Tom Thibodeau's gonna get on him. He's not gonna see the court. If Julius Randle runs away from his defender or from his man going up, he's gonna be taken out because
Kevin Knox plays no defense too, man. People don't say that though. Guillermo's trying to make the argument that Kevin Knox plays no defense, but that's the truth. Randle is the better player. Don't compare Randle to Kevin Knox. Leave Randle alone.
Hold on. Let me say this. Let me finish. With that,
you try to bring Randle. That's a mistake. You made a mistake right there, man.
Hold on. But do you think that matters to Tom Thibodeau?
No.
Randall's gonna pick if. Randall's productive.
No.
Randall can pick it up on the defense. Randall can pick it up on the defense.
No, he can't.
But hold on.
He can pick it up.
So have you ever seen him in the paint and him back away from his man when he's going up? Have you ever seen that?
Listen, it's not. I'm not going from last season no more. I'm going from today going forward with Tibbs.
Hold on. So now you want to go from today forward. But let me bring back something to you yesterday what Tom Thibodeau said. Because if they've been working on nothing but defense in their training camp so far, and Kevin Knox has looked very good in practice.
Don't say that, Kevin.
That Kevin Knox.
That's a lot of cap in there too.
On defense.
That's a lot of cap. Guillermo's been right. Knox has a history of no defense too.
No, but 2 years.
Yeah, but he's capping right now. His defense is not that good. Y'all capping. Y'all gotta.
Hold on.
You made a mistake. You should have looked into this conversation.
Let me ask you: Is defense a trait?
You can
answer my question. Is defense
Here's my question.
Trait?
It's effort. You got to give effort for defense.
Hold on. No, let me get this straight. If defense isn't a trait, that means you can get better on defense.
Yes, you can.
So for you
which
saying,
Kevin Knox hasn't been doing.
because how do you know that if the coach
that's what more why do Mo Harkless is starting in front of him? Because he plays no defense.
Huh?
Hold on, but Kevin, we don't know. Again, Tom Thibodeau, these are all quotes. We have no idea. Again, this is not even game time. Even the preseason, we may not even be able to again, we have to wait to the regular season to see if things have truly come to fruition. We don't know.
But this isn't a typical training camp in preseason because there's only 4 people. Some teams only play 3 preseason games, so teams are going to be ramping up faster than normal to get.
And that's why he got veterans who can come in, start the season, build his base level system, and then if the rookies come and show, or the young guys.
So you're trying to sit here and say that regardless of what any of these young players do,
no,
I'm still going with the veterans. If that's the case, then RJ Barrett's not getting on the court.
I'm saying why
Robinson's not getting on the court because they kids too. So if you want to say that only the veterans,
I'm going to answer your question.
I guess we need to roll a starting lineup of Elfrid Payton, Alec Burke, Reggie.
Oh my goodness!
No. Because you just said the veterans are going to get into place.
Well, what I'm trying to say, I'm trying to answer your question. I know you're trying to sound great, but I'm trying to answer your question.
I'm saying a point.
You get veterans to make sure, okay, if the so-called project with the rookies isn't ramping up, I have veterans to lean on versus I need to lean on these rookies, and it's hard for me to teach them. This is why Tom Thibodeau, for the person who loves quotes so much, he also said, hey, the veterans are very valuable because they get things very quickly. And you just talked about a short preseason, short development time for these guys, not summer, but preseason, whatever. He's going to lean heavily on these veterans. Again, you don't.
No. If you're going to quote what he said the veterans know the tricks.
That's me saying.
He said the veterans know the tricks of the trade, but with the youth on this team, we're going to have to move up and down the court. Does that sound like Julius Randle to you?
Hey, fellas,
let's give Ron a second.
I'm sorry. Let me give you all a news break, man. I don't know if any of y'all realize this, but Tom Thibodeau wasn't brought in to coach no bunch of veterans. Let that sink in your head. Tom Thibodeau was brought in to fix the mess that David Fizdale left.
And his staff.
Exactly. So when we think about that fact, I keep telling y'all, man, you got to wipe last year out. You got to wipe that out. Because if Fizdale was such this great coach, or Mike Miller, they would still be here. So you can't look, and like I said, and Rob, I don't know if you heard when I said earlier. Now, let's say we can't watch the games, right? We're not able to see the games visually. But if someone showed you a stat line, and we looked at Kevin Knox numbers, year 1, 12.8 points, almost 5 rebounds a game. And then year 2, dropped off to like 4 points.
6.
Yeah. And so when you look at that, what would you say? You would say something happened. What in the world happened from year 1 to year 2?
I would say automatically, without even looking at it, I say he got hurt or something.
Yeah, I would be thinking that. I would be thinking that. My point is, I say that to say this, fellas.
Go ahead.
We got to give these boys at least 20 games before we start tearing these guys down. Yeah, we can chew them out on each game when they play terrible, because I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna tell you like that. Hey, if you play bad, I'm gonna call you out.
Well said.
I'm gonna call you out. But with a new coaching staff trying to undo the mess that the last one created, we're gonna have to give these guys time, man. But we can't sit here and say, well, the coach says this, but I ain't gonna listen to that. If the coach saying Knox is showing proven in practice, you got to take that at face value. We ain't heard nothing yet from Tibbs to say he's lying.
So we got to stop blaming Randall. We got to stop blaming Randall for the Knicks' problems. We can't give all the blame on Randall.
Hey, Moses, I'm with you. Like I said, I'm with Randall too.
Yeah, because they like to,
Hey, look here. Anybody that wearing that behind me, I'm with you. Like Guillermo said, once you leave, I'm loyal to that. I ain't loyal to no player. I'm loyal to the team.
To your guys' points, if this guy is not here to coach no damn veterans, why the hell do we bring so many damn veterans in?
You know why they brought him in?
We're at the brim. We have to cut people.
You asked the question.
You 10 guys. You brought for the point guard position that DSJ, Frank. You brought in Austin Rivers, who's cheaper and more productive than Frank. You think Austin Rivers, who could have gone to probably better teams, is sitting there saying, yeah, well, if I show out in camp and I look better than Frank and I'm executing better than Frank, well, I'm still on the bench.
Hey, Guillermo, you talking about all these veterans, right? We talking facts. Look at these contracts these veterans got. These veterans got 1 year deals. People that signed got 1 year deals. Ain't nobody on no multi-year deal other than.
And you know why he did that? You know
Randall.
why he do that? You know why?
I'm answering your point. I'm answering your point. You asked the question. I'm trying to give you the answer, but you're gonna answer it for me.
Because Thibodeau lives by his system.
Are you gonna let me answer the question that you asked, or are you gonna answer it?
My bad.
You don't need to answer the question if you want to answer already now.
Go ahead, my bad.
But what I'm saying, when you talking about them veterans, every last one of those veterans that got signed, on average, 1 year, $5 million.
Mhm.
They are not looked at as a long term. What the Knicks is trying to do is to try to find out. But these guys that we got under contract, whether or not who we gonna keep, because it's still a rebuilding project. If we somehow stumble into the playoff, we're ahead of schedule. But this thing is rebuilding. Are you telling me the front office thinking playoffs? You guys to be crazy.
No,
you guys to be crazy.
But also the Knicks are the youngest team. Also,
Thibodeau is a system.
That's what I'm saying. They ain't thinking about no playoffs.
Thibodeau is a system guy, right? I'm not saying that Thibodeau doesn't care about the young guys and doesn't want production from them, right? But all throughout his career, right? I guess the Wolves are outliers just because he had so many young players. But Thibodeau, again, he got these. And the funny thing is that this is what we've been crying about, right? Getting veterans to show the younger guys the way on the court. This is what Thibodeau is doing. That if these youngsters do not show out in practice or whatever, right? He's going to have the veterans probably most likely start to establish the system, to establish the style of play. This is saying not all these Knicks, because a lot of guys weren't here. I think only Frank was here. But to Nick G, right? Or not Nick G. I was the one that said this, right? Hornacek was saying back in the day when he's trying to teach the so-called triangle understanding, so it wasn't his system, it was Phil Jackson's, right? But the kids didn't want to learn it, right? You're talking about a whole bunch of young kids that, and think about this, right? Again, they talked about the 4 ways, or Thibodeau talked about the 4 ways with which he's going to build his team. One of those ways is the draft, right? And they've got assets for guys like Ed Davis, right? They're going to probably most likely pay Randall to get value for him and then trade him. And then that's when you're going to see Obi and other guys, right?
Nah, we're keeping him. We're keeping him.
My point is that Thibodeau is trying to build out the system. And then you see, okay, where do these young guys fit? Where do we bring in guys next year, free agency? Where do we draft? Thibodeau is building out the blueprint for the team. He's more worried. I think he's more worried about that versus let me play youngsters, whether they are good or not, right? If they're good, obviously they're going to play. But if they're not good, I don't think he's going to be forcing them to play when he has veterans who can show the system and execute the system a lot better than the youngsters.
They haven't played for him before. They just like the second and third year players. They haven't played for Fizz either. I mean,
but a lot of NBA teams run a lot of similar systems, bro. A lot of NBA teams run a lot of similar sets, bro.
We're talking about 3 to 4 year players. That's young players. They can learn the system just like somebody in the 5th year.
You're not, but Rob, you're not listening. I didn't say they can't. I'm saying that if they don't,
I know, but you keep on using the word.
Why wouldn't they? Is the question.
Wait, say it again.
We gotta stop underselling these guys.
Why wouldn't
word? Like, why you word? Like, what's up?
Wait,
Like,
why wouldn't they? Hold on. What did Kevin say? Why wouldn't they?
Why wouldn't they learn the system? If everybody's in the same room, if everyone is in the same room learning the same thing, why? Because you're young.
Because not everybody has
the same thing.
Acuity. Not everybody.
That's like saying I can't learn something from my 12-year-old daughter.
If everybody gets the same SAT
After what they've been through, I give them the benefit of the doubt. After what those players been through with New York, I give them the benefit of the doubt.
Wipe the slate clean. Last year,
what does New York have anything to do with running, say, a motion offense? That has nothing to do with anything.
I'm saying just like this here. Whatever Tibbs is running, the other guys haven't played for him first to pick it up no faster than them. We got 3-4 year young players. Those are not all rookies, GMO. We're talking about this is Frank in his 4th year. My boy going through his 3. The only 2 that's in their 1st year is Obi.
Let me show you how you guys do not stick to your own points, right? You literally just sat up here crying about how the Knicks have not had proper coaching. Why the hell would you expect veterans from other teams to not have better understanding of basketball for guys who come from playoff teams? We just went over my show where the Rockets were doing the Spanish pick and roll. You're telling me a guy like Austin Rivers, that someone like say Knox, and not the same position, right? But someone like Knox, who y'all just cried about not having the same or having good coaching, would have more understanding of how to run something like the Spanish pick and roll than Austin Rivers, who ran it with the Rockets. Y'all capping.
Pay attention to detail. You'll get it.
What y'all talking about, bro?
That's the key.
They're all gonna learn it.
There's a difference between someone teaching you how to do something and you automatically just supposed to know it.
True.
Word. Like you can't.
If somebody sits and tells you how to do something,
you may not get it. Someone can sit and teach you. You may not get until you.
But hold on. Why would Reggie Bullock get it and Kevin Knox not get it? Because Reggie
Bullock, you guys not gonna pick it up, and that's what it sounds like you can. Because these guys are veterans.
I'm saying it can. It may be. He may be able to pick it up. He may not be able to pick it up. I do not know. But I'm saying
I can tell you this: it's evident that he's picking up something because the coach get out there and talking about the man from 2 practices. He talking good about him picking up these defensive principles and techniques. He's talking real good about him.
We have vets who've I'm not saying the vets are better. Again, I'm talking about mental acuity and knowledge of it, right? And people run it. If I see somebody who's run something before or run in relatively more complex systems, right? I'm gonna probably be like, all right. And Tim said it. He said the veterans would know more. He said that he's talking about the veterans. The veterans would know more.
Talking like these veterans is really that much that like they're not that good for us to be even like.
I disagree. I disagree. Some of these veterans are better.
If Knox can't beat out Alec Burke, I have a problem with that.
My thing is this, and he just said it. Do you think a lot of people was lining up to sign Alec Burks?
No.
Alec Burks was really good. Golden State Warriors. He really wanted.
Yeah, he did well.
Oh, that's cap.
76ers.
No, he really did.
He shot above. He shot above league average.
Above average for the 76ers. He was good for the 76ers.
No, I don't know about the 76ers. But before he got traded to the 76ers.
You're talking about Alec Burke, right? We have no idea how negotiations go, right? So Alec Burke obviously is a journeyman. So he's probably looking at like, look, I probably could have got a 1-year deal or whatever from a playoff team versus I could possibly start for Nick. And I'm not saying that he's better or what. I'm just saying a guy like people say, oh, you think that Alec Burke would have gotten value? Well, yeah, if he wants to possibly start, maybe he's looking like, yeah, I have a good opportunity to start, build up my value, and possibly get a better contract, maybe my last contract or whatever.
So why he couldn't do that nowhere else? Okay, he played glass, nobody else's system.
I'll give you this. Because he's coming to the Knicks, who are the worst team in Can I explain to you? He's going who are the worst team.
Journeyman nonsense.
There's the opportunity.
Because
you're not listening. Because he's going to the Knicks, the worst team. He probably has the.
He's a good player, bro.
He's the worst team. That's not fact.
Can Alec Burke start on the Golden State Warriors? No. Can Alec Burke start on say the well? Then I say. Can he start on some of these other playoff teams? For the most part, no.
Yes. He started for the 76ers.
Where does he have a better? Where does he have a better chance to start? A playoff team or the Knicks? Exactly.
It's not about starting. I think
you.
Either or. It depends on the team. I just said
guys are capping, man.
Let me start on the 76ers. I just answered your question. And he could probably start on the Knicks. But that depends on how good the young guys are. If you don't think they're that good, which I think you do, then you'll think they'll start on the Knicks. Now, if the young guys are better in 9 months, it should be no reason why Alec Burke should be started. That should be a non-starting combo. If these teams got better,
y'all know how that go. If you got a veteran and you got a rookie coming in, and that veteran and that rookie is close in training camp, you know who's going to start.
The rookie.
You go with the youth. You're going to go with the youth. So if these veterans they bringing in don't look as good as the rook and them young boys we got, guess who's going to be on the pine?
Hey, let me make a point. When Tibbs was talking about Mitch, he brought up the word professionalism. The vets are here to compete, but there's another level. Not every rookie or young player is going to be like an RJ that has that maturity. A lot of the vets are there to teach these kids how to be a professional.
But
they can do that.
That's a knock on the vets being last year.
Also, man, hold on.
Our team was trash last year. Wait, why are we giving? Our team was trash last year. People try to make it seem, yo, our young guys, man, y'all, you trying to issue? I'm not issuing on the young guys.
Another year of experience.
He had a terrible team.
All right.
And
And we had a
young guys who showed out. Even though that wasn't relatively.
Fisdale and Mike Miller and them was so bad that every young guy in their media session said something that was a knock on ex-coaches. Like every single one of them. Oh, the practices is harder. Oh, we practicing defense. Oh, it's some more attention to detail.
Conditioning.
Conditioning.
Even Mitch said it. As much as he loved Fizz, he even said it.
Yeah, come on now. Like what I get at you is you put too much on the young guys, and when people put too much on them, it just needs a little context. Like Fisdale and Mike Miller did those dudes no favors last season.
And I've said that multiple times. Okay,
these dudes got 9 months off. Okay. They got 9. Yeah, I'm always going to say this.
Almost a whole year.
They got almost a whole year.
Okay.
I know they came back better. Like I expect it. I know it. I expect it. Even Obi Toppin. You got to think about it. Obi Toppin stopped playing basketball in March. So he had a head start in working on his game way before.
So you know they're better because you say it. But me saying I'm being cautious and I'm waiting till the regular season is wrong. But
ain't nothing wrong with that, girl. That's to hear you say you cautious. That's the first time I heard that out your mouth tonight. Now I might have missed you, but the first time I hear you say you being cautious, and I can respect that.
If I'm saying I have to wait to see what the young guys are doing to assess, okay, these guys have improved. Like how's that?
So my question is, hey, I'm glad you brought it up, Guillermo. I got a question for the whole chat and people, people on the chat and all of us on the panel. Tell me, since Knox has been an overwhelming question debate, what are your expectations for Kevin Knox?
One thing that I'm definitely looking for is his free throws. I have problems with Knox free throw. He's shooting way below average. At least Frank Ntilikina, his free throw percentage was impressive last season, but Knox is always disappointing. From rookie season, it's like, yo, why are you shooting like 60? He's shooting almost.
No, I wouldn't say season he shot 72%, and the league average is 77.
But I meant to say, what do you expect him to do this year?
I'm hoping he can get closer to the 800 because he has
impact winning. That's why I don't give a damn about his stats. I want him to start and I want him to impact winning. I don't care about.
No, I want both. No, I think he's settling for less.
Okay.
What you mean? If he's starting and he's impacting winning, I don't care about box scores.
I want the stats too.
So, Guillermo, what you think?
No. You want the stats. See, this is why you value Julius Randle 19-9 from last season.
Man, that's correct.
I don't like certain stats.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Man.
Hold on.
Fox. What's Knox field goal percentage?
We'll get to Julius Randle. We're gonna talk about
hold on. I want to talk about Knox field goal percentage. What's his field goal percentage?
We're talking about Knox right now. What's your
3-point percentage? How many 3-pointers he shot?
No. Let's talk about
27%.
We want to talk his whole game. His field goal percentage. What is it?
Boy's gonna get an F in class. Y'all ain't answering the question.
38. It was some garbage. It was some nonsense.
So am I wrong that I want him to have a better field goal percentage?
Hold on, guys.
No one know what y'all expect. We didn't talk about all this stuff in Knox. What do you expect Knox to do this year? Under tips. I don't want to hear nothing about what you expect Knox to do. What's your ideal number session? Because you're a numbers man there, God of Moses.
Yeah,
What do you expect? What numbers do you expect him to put up?
I'm gonna be conservative. 10, 5. You're talking stats, right? How many points?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say 10, 5.
Now, do you have him as a starter?
10, 4, and 3. 10, 4, and 3.
Now, after you tell me, fellas, I want y'all. After y'all tell me what you expect Knox to do numbers wise, I want you to tell everybody in the viewing audience why.
10, 4, and 3. Why?
Minutes. I don't know. He might.
You breaking up.
Some games, so far he's not efficient all the time. So sometimes the shots may fall.
Yo, you gotta stop your nonsense, man.
Hold on. Are we doing this with the assumption that Knox is going to be the starter?
Well, just what you expect. If you think he's gonna be the starter, you can say that in your point too. I expect him to be the starter.
Some days he might start, some days he may not. Some days he might. Some days he might start, some days he may not. I don't know. I'm just
This
guessing.
dude's not walking through that door. I don't understand.
I think if Stevens gets a set lineup, it's gonna be that.
Listen,
I'm good on that.
One at a
Everything
time.
about to be flip flopping.
Hold on, my numbers is 10-4-3. Whatever you got going, 10-4-2. Whatever you guys got going on, you
25 and 8.
Okay.
That's true. Randall, that's a big number. That's true. Randall's gonna give you.
No, hey, we gonna get to Randall. We ain't talking about Randall yet. Now we gonna get to your boy. We know you love him. Stephen, what you got?
15-7-3.
That's cool. That's cool.
And I think that he has an offensive game, man. He absolutely has that talent. So, and I think what he touched on, if he has Kenny Payne's foot up his ass, I think he'll get them 7 rebounds, and I think that's totally doable for him. Next.
All right. So you gave us your points, your stats, and why. Grandma, we coming to you.
I don't have expectations for him.
Okay.
No. It's not a bad way. Now, do you want me to give you what I?
Yeah, I want you. What you think? Your honest opinion.
To validate him being here on the team.
No, just what you expect him to score. Because if he's on the team, he's going to be on the floor at some point.
Nothing. Legit, I don't know. I don't know the lineups. I don't know the system they're playing. All I know is going to be more corner threes. I know it's going to be defense. I don't know if there's going to be more mid-range. I don't know. So this is like people are going to kill me for this exercise, but it's like a fruitless exercise. It doesn't mean anything.
Okay.
You can be negative on your own. You always do that anyway.
You can sell that negative Henny juice by your damn self.
How you guys Knicks fans? It's like you guys keep taking heroin. Like
every year. Bro.
And then
I can't disagree.
Your Nick Payne ain't my Nick Payne, brother. So you don't need to have me share your misery with me. I like what we got. So don't be trying to stick in the
same guy that probably thought we're gonna go to playoffs when we have freaking like Al Harrington. It's like every year stays like yo Al Harrington, man, Jeffrey's.
But every year I never said playoffs. Did I say playoffs to you? I didn't even say playoffs this year. We probably with 28, 29 wins in the East will probably get you the 10th seed, but you never know. But I never said to you playoffs. So what? I don't come to you. My expectations was I said minimum 28 wins. Anything lower than 28 is a failure. For Kevin Knox, if he do start, I would like for him to shoot. It's certain numbers that I want from him. I want him to shoot at least 4 threes a game.
That's what I was asking you.
Average 1
and I want him to average, but I want him to average of like, give me 15 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists. I don't expect for him to have the ball in his hands because I expect for RJ to have the ball in his hands. Okay. But impact winning. That's why I said I don't care about his numbers, man. It's the impact winning. Like Randall can average 28 and 15. But if we lose about 30, which we was doing last season while he was hogging the ball, then yeah, you know.
Let me do it better. Hold on, Ron. Let me give my numbers.
Okay.
My numbers of what I want. Not
okay.
This is what I want from Knox, right? Better defense, better footwork. I want at least one more wrinkle to the game, whether it's a change of pace move to the basket or a post-up game, right? I want Knox is going to have opportunities to do this. I want him to take at least 3 threes a game, especially from the corner. And I want Knox to at least have about 4 to 6 rebounds, right?
Okay. So with all that said, if he does what you want him to do, what do you expect him to put up?
Yes.
If he does what I want him to do, that's easy. Anywhere from 15 to 16, maybe even 17 points.
I'm with you on that, Grandma. That's pretty much what I said about 15, 16, but 16 because I went back. I said I'm taking out that year last year. I'm wiping that out. That's gone from my memory.
But even forget that. 15.
I went back to the rookie season, and I said he scored 12. So if he can score 12 in his rookie season, this is year 3. He should be able to get me 16.
Give me hold up. Give me 13, 14 points, right? But just give me better efficiency. That's all I want.
And give me rebounds.
That's all I want. But you know why? This season again,
impact winning.
This season is the year to build out the system. If Knox can be that efficient within the system, when they trade off or get rid of these vets who are in 1 year deals, he's going to get a bigger role next year. So give me the efficiency.
I agree with you.
Just give me efficiency.
I don't know if some of these kids gonna be here next year. But that's
no. But the 1 year guys, the 1 year deal guys are not going to be
here. The 1 year deal guys gonna be here.
No, Gamble. I already told you. If RJ and Obi show up, I already told you. Don't expect for that Dallas pick and that Knicks pick 2021 to walk through that door next offseason. I already told you what I think. One of the routes that the Knicks can take, that I think they should take, is them winning like 30 games. Obi and RJ show up, and I think Leo Rose gonna make a move, man. I'm not saying they will, but I think they're gonna make a move. So I'm not really expecting that 2021 pick.
You don't even have to take for next year. There's so many talented players in next year's draft that literally you can have a 28 to 30.
So let me ask you a question: would you trade? Boom. Would you trade K or Suggs for Buck or Donovan?
Man, I'm going with the known over the unknown. That's me. I'm telling you right now.
No, I wouldn't.
I'm going with the known over the unknown. I'm going to get Booker.
If I get Donovan Mitchell,
or Donovan Mitchell, either one.
Listen, this is to the chat.
We don't know. You don't know how the graphics are going to turn out. As much as I sit here and I do it for fun, like hyperbole.
I hear you.
I don't know. But a guy like Donovan Mitchell, who I've seen, he's on a team right now where he really doesn't have offensive help, at least in the playoffs, because Joe Ingles disappeared. Gobert, Gobert's Gobert. And he didn't have Bogdanovich. And I mean, they should have won that series. But the attitude, if I could see Donovan and RJ Barrett together.
What? I'm sending Kate Cunningham on
the first a New York dream. So to me, as much as I like Jalen Suggs and Kate Cunningham, I'm taking the time. The only thing with Booker though,
if we can get Cade, a floor general for our future, who's going to control the flow of the game, make the players around him better, I'm going with Cade.
But Cade, the funny thing about Cade is more like a two guard. Cade is more like a two. I'm telling you. Cade is being maybe because OK State. Well, OK State,
right? I meant it like that. Either or.
No,
Cade is more like a two guard. Like you know who? Like if Cade has a crappy team, right? If Cade was playing like John Morant was taking that Murray State team to, they overachieved, right? That's like that's a point guard right there.
I'm trading John Morant for Booker or Donovan too.
But again, I'm taking Donovan Mitchell.
Nah, that's crazy. You ain't trading no John Morant. Are you crazy?
I'm trading John for Donovan. And what?
What? That's 3 years in. How old is Donovan?
I don't know. That's
24.
Y'all stop capping. Stop capping. If Donovan acts out, and we had Cade, I'm sending Cade on a one-way trip to Utah, brother.
But they would just say really that if you operate from a position of need, if you operate from a position of need.
I say, but thinking about that draft, if Memphis had the number 2 overall pick, if Utah wanted to trade Donovan and they asked for the number 2 overall pick, which would have been John Morant, yes, John Morant, I'm sending you on a one-way plane ticket to Utah. Yes,
because of the unknown at that time. See, we talking because we know what John Morant is right now.
I'm not trading no John Morant.
I get what you're saying there, State. Donovan Mitchell would be a proven
commodity. We gotta talk to State sometimes. Sometimes he just goes overboard. You gotta catch him sometimes, man. You gotta.
Kevin,
I would have traded for John. Nah, John's special. I would have traded for John.
And I called John over Zion.
I would have traded for John, but Kate Cunningham though, it's tough. It's tough.
Don't leave John Morant's name alone. His name should be left alone.
John's tough. But
Rob, what you think, Kevin? What's your expectations and why?
I want him to give up about 15 shots a game. Give me 18 points. Give me between 4 and 6 rebounds, and about 4 assists.
Okay.
He do that, he on his way.
I agree with you.
Yo, Ron, I just want to say I want to bump it up to 12 points. I expect 12 points for the season from Kevin Knox.
Well, that ain't bad though. I mean, when you think about it, it sounds funny, but it really ain't bad because that means he will have gotten back to where he was before the debacle that was Fizdale.
Yeah, and more efficient. I expect more efficient. I don't want to see no 380% field goal percentage. I want the field goal percentage.
He's gonna get better shots.
Yeah, I want the field goal percentage to look nice. I want to see something like 450, 460.
All right, Kev, we're coming to you, Kev. Yeah. What you got?
I look at it's very tough because we all know I love Knox. But here's my thing: if he can have a semi-prime Luau Deng type of season, I'll be happy with that.
that's tough.
Boy, that's asking a lot, boy. But hey, I love that.
But hold on, but here's the thing, because Luau Deng's numbers, it's not like Luau Deng was averaging like 20-some points a game. He was getting like 16, 17 points.
What age
and that's what I want from Knox, is to be efficient with whatever he's putting up. And I think Tibbs will put him in. I think Tibbs will put him in that type of Luau Deng position. That's what I see Tibbs doing for Knox.
So, Kevin, question: what age did Thibodeau get Luau Deng? What age was he? 25?
He got
he got drafted by Chicago.
I know.
He was with Vinny Negro.
But I think you're right. You're right. He got drafted by Chicago, but Vinny had him first, so he had to be at least 23.
Tom Thibodeau joined in what?
09, no 10.
Yeah, he was. Oh no, he was like 23.
Was Dang one and done or 2 years in college?
I
can't remember if he was one and done.
I think he was.
No. He got.
No, I don't think he was one and done.
I think he did at least 2.
He was UConn, right? No, Duke.
Duke. He was Duke.
He was.
Man.
Yeah, he was averaging about 16 when Tibbs got there, and he stayed around that way while
injuries slowed him down.
He was two-way too. He was a two-way player too.
Yeah. If Knox can be Luau Deng, I'm re-signing Knox.
The reason why I asked that is because when he got, you got to think about it. When Tibbs got the Luau Deng, I think he was about 25 years old.
Yeah, Ryan W. said he was 25 in 2010 to 2011. He was 25.
So Tibbs is getting Knox when he's 21. So, Tibbs is getting RJ when he's
one season. 20. He was one season at Duke. Okay.
And he's getting Obi when he's 22. Look, listen, this rebuild, Obi, Knox, RJ, one of these dudes got it as an all-star.
They're the key to it.
Somebody got to hit. Nobody coming to save us, man. Nobody's coming to save us.
It's the the 3 guys, one go
hit. We are looking for a savior.
Because here's the thing, and I was like to say this. This is why I expect Tibbs, because Tibbs has had these types of players before.
Yeah.
To say that Knox is going to play the role that Luau Deng does, and clearly you have a carbon copy of Jimmy Butler and RJ Barrett.
Absolutely. I said that the other night. That's exactly what I see.
So you can see that what Tibbs wants to do.
Yeah.
With a younger version of the players that he had in Chicago.
So imagine this. Mitch, Obi, Knox, RJ. Like, all you need is the goddamn point guard. Like, that's like, I would love for those 4 to play together, like, a lot of minutes. I'm not talking about sparing minutes. I'm not talking about like under 200 minutes.
I think people are going to downplay. I think this team will be better than what people think it's going to be. And I'm not saying we're about to be like the 5th seed in the playoffs or anything like that. I'm saying I think we'll be a top 10 seed in the East. And with that, we can beat a French person, which means this. We're going to be out of running for Cade Cunningham. I think we'll be too good to get Cade.
I agree with you.
And so all this like, I want Cade, but we're not going to be that bad, I don't think.
I can tell you, unless we sell the house, unless we use up all our assets to get him, and even then, I don't know if somebody will trade.
You ain't gonna worry about that with
Leon. The thing with Thibodeau is that he takes out the. I mean, he did get Derrick Rose, but again, this is why his system is important, right? And I'm not saying he's going to run the but he's gonna fit his offense to the players. So okay, you don't get Cade Cunningham. You know who a guy who would kill on the Knicks? Josh Christopher from Arizona State. You get that too. I'm not even talking about point guard. I understand Suggs is a beast too.
Nah, Josh Christopher is tough.
If you get Josh Christopher, y'all talking about
dog.
Josh Christopher is a 6'5" Donovan Mitchell. Mark my words, unless he don't get hurt. So
see, y'all boys about to make me start watching college basketball.
No,
you need to.
Y'all about to make me start watching. I don't want my mind cloudy with no college players right now.
This is why I talk about this. Tom Thibodeau is gonna get the best. Dude, he had Jimmy Butler at one point, playing like a off guard kind of guy who could also push the ball. Tom Thibodeau is more. Not saying he's not about the players, but the system is very important to him. He's a George Karl. He's from the old school. X's and O's, get what works best for the guys, right? If he could do that, forget about Cade Cunningham, right? Forget about even Jalen Suggs. He might get a point guard here, there, whatever. Get the most talented player that fits the system. Cade Cunningham by himself is not going to fix the Knicks.
Hey, Guillermo, since we was talking about player comparisons, you know what I mean? It was brought up about the one comparison that I thought about last night. I was like, and Kev brought it back up, man. When you look at RJ and you look at Jimmy Butler, you couldn't pitch a better comparison. Both of those guys don't care about numbers. All they care about is winning, and they don't care if they got to chew your leg off to win. Them boys are some dogs. It's like a mirror image, and I guarantee you, when Tibbs took the team and he really got to look at RJ's game and got to sit down with him, I know he probably was like, "This is a young Jimmy. This is a young Jimmy."
Well, I'll say it's about Jimmy Butler, right? Jimmy Butler came into the league literally as a defensive guy, right? He was he knows what a meritocracy is all about, right? And that's not saying RJ Barrett was the best high school player in the nation at one point, right? And so not to say RJ Barrett's privileged or he's not that type of guy. They're slightly different. And Jimmy Butler, let's be honest. And that's a guy I know people kill me. Oh, I didn't want from because I knew that foundation that we have, the Knicks, it was going to spell trouble. Jimmy Butler went to the perfect situation with the Miami Heat, but he's a special player in that regard. Now, I think he was a bad fit for the Wolves, but again, if you put him on a proper team where, again, owner, GM, coach, everybody's on one accord and the players are all drafted young or on one accord, Jimmy Butler's your guy, right? But him and RJ, they're a little bit different. But I think they do have similar drives. But RJ stats have shown me on the defensive end, right? Because Jimmy Butler was, I'm going to lock you down. And then, I could drive to the basket, hit the kiss off the backboard. You know what I mean? That he kind of grew into his offensive game. So it's like RJ Barrett's like the pretty girl, right? That was always pretty. But she's not really an a-hole. She still works hard to look pretty. Jimmy Butler got pretty at like age 28, right? But he's humble about it. Like he knows like, damn, I knew where I used to be, man. Damn, thank God, God blessed me with a body and everything. Not to be, crude to anybody out there.
Man, Jimmy got drafted when he was 22 years old. RJ got drafted when he was 19, man. RJ is going to be a stud, man.
I think his career arc going to be similar to Jimmy's, man. I really do feel it.
Some of the guys, Latrell and Trendy sometime. Latrell,
what's up, guys?
Hey.
Yo, what's up?
Yo, wait, hold on. Hit the mic.
Welcome, Latrell. I ain't seen you down there, man. What's up?
Salute. What's up, man? I just want to say. Go ahead, Trendy. You go first.
Oh, he wanted to talk about Randall. Trini wanted to say something about Randall.
What's going on with Randall?
I gotta rewind because I missed a lot. Now, God Moses said Randall was good. That's not facts. The man was the first option on our team, averaging 19 and 9. That's not. Those
and he had 190
with a terrible coach at that.
190
running a terrible offense. Running a terrible offense at that too.
Anyone that has high usage like that has a lot of turnovers.
I definitely think but Randall is not supposed to be a number one option. I think we can all agree on that.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I mean, we had a terrible coach. It's hard to disagree. We had a terrible coach last season. I don't really know. It's
well, so here's the thing about Randall, right? Here's what I'm saying about Randall. Randall did get terrible coaching, right? And I'm not one of these people that say Randall's the reason why the Knicks sucked, all that stuff. He's one of everybody sucked that team, right? Here's the thing that I didn't like about Randall, because I saw him be a better player when AD wasn't there, right?
19 and
Drew Holiday was hurt at times with that team too. So sometimes Randall's the only guy. I was just disappointed that he didn't do a better job, in my eyes. I could be wrong, but in my eyes, of galvanizing the young kids, kind of, I would say be a mentor, but in his style of play, right? You know, when you're taking the ball away from Frank Ntilikina on a technical shot, and then it's like something's amiss, like the synergy relationship.
Yeah, like you're not the big dog, and the young guys
Nah,
are looking at him like you're not even that nice for you to be.
To me, I saw. Look, I always go to this big guy. This is a guy that
you're always gonna hate on Randall.
Let me use an example. That, and not to say he should be this guy, because this guy's a Hall of Famer, right? This is a guy that I always feel like Randall should have taken an example from. Chris Webber. He went to that Kings team. Remember, they traded my dude Mitch Richmond for him, who was killing at the time, but that team was terrible. They were terrible. He didn't want to go to Sacramento, right? He sacrificed part of his game to make the guys around him better, right? I mean, he's still scoring at a really good.
Chris Webber was always a high IQ basketball player.
Hold up, but State, Randall's not dumb. I've seen Randall play. Hold up. This is about it. It's funny. I'm actually coming to Randall's aid. Randall's not dumb.
He's not dumb.
There's a difference. Go watch those Pelican games. He was playing point forward effectively.
I'm tired of hearing about the Pelican.
Yeah, it's the coaching. It's the coaching.
I'm just saying. I feel like Randall was being a little bit too selfish. That he knew he could have played better, which it wouldn't have shown up in the box score. But he was like, "Let me get mine." Right. That's why I feel like all 19 and 10s or whatever are not treated the same, because I still felt Randall could have produced. But he could have been a lot better in helping develop the young kids. We guys talk about coaching. You know what's also important on the floor too? Having players around you, veterans, who can run what you're supposed to be running at a high level to teach you and direct you. Chris Paul, that team had a 4% chance to go to playoffs, the OKC Thunder. They're not making it without. I mean, Chris Paul was on the team when that probably was there, but Chris Paul got them there. That's good leadership. That's what I want.
You know what it is? We had the tank commander and the coach and David Fisdale.
Oh man, don't blame Fisdale for Randall.
Don't blame Fisdale for Frank and Knox. Then
you still blame Fisdale because Fisdale allowed him to do it.
And he's supposed to be
man. A good coach would have done it right. He would have ran the offense right. The offense wasn't looking good because of Fisdale. It's not really because of Randall. I mean,
Randall's been in the league for how long?
Randall winning numbers. You know what Randall numbers would be on a winning team? 14-8. You know why? Because he'll be coming off the bench.
Yes.
Or he'll be the third option,
bro. Those type of players is players who get targeted in the playoffs repeatedly for pick and rolls. You target those players on the offense when coaches they draw up and they be like,
let's
make sure we roll him to death. I don't need him.
We gotta give him a chance. We gotta give him a chance.
Let me ask you a question. Do you think Randall, when you compare, obviously he's a king, right? Or he's one of the kings of centers, right? When you compare a guy like Jokic, right, and Randall's IQ.
No, right? Disgusting. That's like comparing
hold up. Is it It's like let me ask the question. Is it that, again, this goes to the point, because you've seen Randall able to make good passes, right? Is it that Randall is that dumb, or is he being selfish?
He's not that type of player. Jokic is a take-it-through player.
I understand, but I've seen Randall make good passes on the Pelicans and the Knicks.
He needs good coaching. That's why they brought in Kenny Payne. He needs good coaching because the Knicks coaching wasn't that good.
Kevin's trying to ask a question.
Everybody wants to. Everybody is okay with coaching. Oh, let's blame the coach on Frank. Let's blame the coach on Knox. But even though Julius Randle averaged 19 and 9, he still needs more coaching. He is talented.
Well, let me ask you.
But he needs good coaching.
I want to ask you a question.
David Fisdale was terrible. Julius Randle is talented, but he had terrible coaching.
I want to ask you a question. Let's look at all the playoff teams from last year. Would Julius Randle be higher than a third option on any team that made the playoffs last year?
No.
Depends who's the coach.
No.
Who's the coach.
All the playoff teams have the same coaches. Answer the question.
You give him a good coach.
All the teams that made the playoffs last year.
And that's not a shot at Randle. 15 points a game, that'll keep you in the league. But
would Julius Randle be higher than a third option on any team that made the playoffs last year?
Give me a team. Give me a team, and I'll tell you.
Yeah, I would say Portland.
Portland.
I would say Portland.
Portland?
I would
No,
say Portland.
no.
David, hold on. Hold on.
Better than
Hold on.
Nurkic.
Than Melo on
Ain't better
You
than
want me to
No.
answer? You're gonna
Not better
answer.
than Melo.
Yo,
No.
yeah,
Lillard,
I like
Melo
you.
shot-
I like
Melo
so you
shot
put Damian at the
43%
one
from the
will
field.
be first option.
Randall shot 47. Randall.
Nah, Julie, wait. He'll be a good
He
third
out
option.
rebounded
Second
him
or
too.
third.
Ain't no third option on no Portland. What is y'all on drugs?
option.
What do you got?
Who's the first?
No.
Who's,
My question
oh, you got
was,
Yusuf
will he be
Nurkic.
anything
Oh, my
higher than
Hey,
a
goodness.
hey,
third
hold on, fellas.
option?
Kev, say
But
that again,
Yusuf
Kev.
Nurkic was hurt.
Hey, let's give
Hold on,
Latrell
Yusuf
a
hold on,
second.
Nurkic
hold
was
on.
hurt.
Let's
Moses,
give
hold on,
Latrell
hold
a
on, hold on.
second.
The
give
question was,
Latrell
will
a
he be
second.
anything higher than a third option? Like on Portland, would he be after Damian Lillard? Would it be Damian Lillard, then Julius Randle?
Listen,
No.
man. You can't. Julius Randle won't be on no Portland
You
because they
know what?
already got Yusuf Nurkic and they
That's
already got
possible.
CJ McCullough. He
Let's
won't
hear
go there.
Latrell. What you got to say to that,
He's
Latrell?
at least a
Let's
third
listen to
option.
Latrell.
Let's
He's
hear
a- he's a-
Latrell.
I'll
Okay,
just
so
say
if
this.
he was
I
on,
just
if he
gotta
was
say,
on Boston,
1 second, Kev.
I just got to say this.
Boston,
Look,
you got
I've been
Jalen
listening.
Brown
Hold
and
on,
Jason
hold
Tatum.
on, hold on. Go ahead, Latrell.
I've been listening. I've been listening for 2 hours, and first of all, I appreciate all your perspectives on this situation. But all I gotta say is, we care too much. What I'm hearing is, I'm hearing too much about stats. I'm all about winning. Okay, and when you're a young player in this league that doesn't have the habits, I don't care if you score 12.3 points versus 14.2. It's irrelevant.
4 points doesn't win you.
Hold on,
doesn't
Moses.
win
Hold
games.
on. You get your
Let him
chance.
finish.
Let the guy
whole
speak.
thing- my whole thing with Randall is this, okay? He's talented. Yeah, he can put the ball in the basket. He has no awareness on the court. So when you say, look at all the playoff teams, can he be that guy, even a third option? I say no. I wouldn't take him over most I can't name. I mean, he would be the fourth
Kenny
best
Payne?
player
You got
maybe on
Kenny
the
Payne there.
championship.
I trust Kenny. I trust Kenny Payne.
Come
Yeah,
on.
Let me ask you this:
Ralph.
on Portland right now, okay? Nurkic is better than him, man.
Yes, he
Nurkic
is. Yes, he
good.
is. Yes, he is.
Nurkic. Let's pick another
Yes, he
team.
is. Pick another
Let's
team.
go to another team. How about Boston?
No.
No, he won't be in Boston. You got Jason
He's not
Tatum and
the
Jalen
first one
Brown.
on Boston.
he was
Utah.
all forward, so he was still. But he
How
was
about
in
Utah?
Boston.
Utah.
He be right
Utah?
after
No.
Mitchell.
Bogdanovich.
Donovan Mitchell. So
Donovan. Yup.
Donovan,
Go
Bogdanovich,
with
He
and
be
then
third.
he's a
No,
he'll be
he'd be fourth.
okay.
oh no! I take Clarkson. I have Clarkson.
And they got Jody. Oh, I forgot about Jody. They got little Jody. Go to the next
Jody?
team.
Clippers.
Who's Jody? Jody who?
You would take
Clippers.
Clarkson over
Lou
Randall?
Williams Jr.
What?
That's Lou Williams Jr.
Who?
Latrell continue.
Montrezl
Man,
Harrell.
y'all bugging.
Paul
Y'all
George,
bugging.
even
Nah,
playoff.
Montrezl
I'd
Harrell.
take over Randall. Even playoff Pete. Who's hitting the side of the backboard, I'd take over
I
Randall.
think he could beat out Montrezl Harrell for sure.
No way.
No
No
way.
way.
Give me
What?
Julius.
No way.
Okay,
No
we
way.
You know why he
disagree.
can't beat him out?
We disagree.
Go ahead and answer that right quick. Defense is going to separate them guys. Montrez is a bull in the china shop.
Why do you think Kawhi Leonard didn't want Montrezl Harrell with the Clippers no more? Because his defense.
Because you know why? Because he stood up to him. He
Montrezl
told
Harrell.
him you've been slack, and that's why
He's terrible on defense too. Believe it or
Nah,
not,
man.
he's just
No, man. You must be
no,
even watching
no.
no basketball.
Yo,
This basketball card.
I just
reversed.
Montrezl
One at a time, guys.
Montrezl Harrell won 6th Man of the Year, and he went to LA because he saw that culture.
Randall will cook him.
Clippers. Don't
Randall
put that
will
on
cook him.
Montrezl.
Come on,
No.
Ralph. Let him speak.
Randall will cook him.
Let me ask you a question.
I can't.
Oh,
I can't.
man, you're not letting the guy speak.
Damn,
Sorry,
y'all
sorry,
treating
go ahead.
Randall like he buns.
I'm just saying, man.
That bad.
Look, I want Randall to be successful.
Y'all
just
treating him
you
like
want
he
him to be
just
successful. But
trash
we gotta
off
have
on
an
the side of the road.
They tried to, but I don't let him. They
No,
tried.
I know
Hold on,
y'all
hold on.
didn't like that. He didn't pass RJ the ball, but damn.
I'm not. Hold on. I'm not sitting here saying that he's trash. What I'm saying is he's putting up 19-9, and he's the number one option on a team that he wouldn't be anything higher than the third option on another
Thank you.
team.
He's going to be 25 and 10 this year.
Kevin, right?
I
Kevin,
get a good
Kevin.
laugh every
Utah
week,
right
man.
after
Kevin, not every 19 and 10 is created equal.
Hey,
That's
Utah,
why, or whatever you
right
had,
after
18 and
Mitchell.
9.
With they coach, he can be a second option right after Mitchell.
That's what I'm saying.
Randall Buns.
I didn't go to that extreme. I didn't go to that.
Let's go to the next playoff team. Let's go to another playoff team. How
Here's
does
the thing, but hold on. Answer, and here's another question. And I don't know the answer to this, but I think it's no. Has Julius Randle ever been in the playoffs?
No, he hasn't.
No.
He was?
No.
He wasn't.
Nah. Go ahead.
He
Let's
went in his dreams.
No.
There's not too many players.
When he had AD and
No,
They didn't make the playoffs last year.
No, they didn't make it.
One pick, OG.
AD got hurt that year.
AD got hurt that year.
For real.
AD got hurt.
Julius
Remember?
Randle.
God of Moses.
Julius
If
Randle
Julius
has
Randle,
never been in the playoffs.
God of Moses.
Think about that.
If Julius Randle becomes an All-Star this year, I will deliver a box of cookies to your address, and I will deliver you a fresh Julius Randle's jersey to your address. And
I'll take you up on that. Remember,
No,
Hold on. What did you say? No, Charles, you said if Julius Randle, if we make the playoffs this year?
if he makes the All-Star team this year, I will write an apology letter to your address and give
You said cookies and a jersey.
It's gonna be a long season for you. Hold on. Let me talk. Latrell, it's gonna be a long season for you, man. I feel bad. You sure? You sure? I'm giving you an out now. It's gonna be a long season for you.
If he's an All-Star, I want him to be an All-Star, so I'm cool with that.
All right. I'm just letting you
It's
know.
a win-win. At the end of the day, it's about that thing behind us and not the person name on the back
I'm
of the
telling
jersey.
you, Julius.
I don't care. Leon Rose drafted me. Obi Toppin. Randall numbered. Stop your capping. Stop trying to.
I'm not capping. Randall's really good.
Let me ask you guys.
Finish the question though, because he asked a great question. What team would Julius Randle playoff team would he be the third option on? We just went through a couple and we all agreed no. Washington is not the third option because they got Russell, John. They got Russell, Charlie Bill, Bertans, and Thomas. They got mouths to feed, and all of those dudes shoot better than Randle.
So that's why play better defense.
I'm thinking,
did Orlando make the playoffs?
Better defense than Orlando.
Orlando.
You
got Vucevic and
what about Orlando? I think Julius Randle in Orlando I think he'll be a good.
He may make it in Orlando. I give you that. He make it there in Orlando.
Yeah, because Orlando stink.
Huh? No, they don't. They're actually a pretty good team.
Playoff team.
He's not a first option.
He be coming off the bench because you got Jonathan Isis and Vucevic, right? So
no, Jonathan Isaac could play the 3.
No, but he will play the 4.
No, he's a 3. He's a 3.
No.
Here you guys are trying to play coach again. Y'all trying to play coach
let's
again.
look
Come
it
on.
up.
Okay, look it up.
What did Jonathan Isaac play?
Hey,
Okay, Stephen Fox.
Well, no,
Stephen
because
Fox,
Aaron
what position does
Gordon
Jonathan Isaac play,
plays
Jonathan?
for in Orlando.
Look
Yeah.
at
I don't think Julius Randle would be a starter on a real legitimate championship team. I think he would be a good guy coming off the bench like a 7th man guy.
What about Toronto?
y'all bugging.
Toronto, he's the 5th option.
Nah.
Keep going. Name the next team, fellas. The
I'm
Phoenix
gonna write a
Suns.
letter to Randall and tell him
Randall
he's
is the
the
Phoenix
Suns.
Chris Paul. I'm not.
Booker, DeAndre Ayton, Miles.
We're good. Next team.
Yeah, he's the 5th option. So who's the next team? Next playoff team? Go ahead.
Man, I'm gonna tell you who's the 5th option is. That's your boy Kevin Knox.
That sounds like
He's making this a Kevin Knox. Hold on. Let me ask you guys a question because this ain't going nowhere.
Funny, when we were talking about Kevin Knox, he wanted to talk about Julius Randle.
How do you guys feel about
I like to tease State. You know, you got to bug him sometimes. You know how I do.
Yo, what are the prospects of DSJ becoming the lead point guard this year?
What happened?
You know who Stacey Patton is?
What are the lead? How do you guys feel about DSJ and his development possibly becoming the lead point guard this year? Because we haven't talked about him. We talked about Knox. We talked about.
Good question. He's a wild card.
It's up here. It's the no fans in the stands.
I don't know what he's doing.
No. DSJ. But DSJ.
Come on, Rob. He didn't do it.
DSJ needs to understand, right? He needs to know that I gotta play a role. Because if he coming in this situation thinking he the man, he's not going to be able to.
Looking at a Penn Station, he'll be in the first.
He's going to be in the first train out of Penn Station because you got RJ to feed, you got Obi to feed, you got Randall to feed, you got Mitch to feed. So he got a couple of miles to feed before he even think about getting his own shot.
Yo, State, you know what's scary about that? Tom Thibodeau loves guards who can score off the dribble.
But
penetrate.
But think about those guards, though. He always made the correct pass. Like Kirk Hyman, he wasn't really a great point guard. We know that.
No, he wasn't. He could shoot, though.
He could shoot, but he always made the correct pass. Like he wasn't stupid with the ball. You get what I'm saying?
Not great, but good at everything.
Yeah. And so I watched DSJ. He had bad coaching. Even Fizdale did him no favors by running him no good pick and roll. And then it was like he had no direction on the court. So he gets the same excuses that some of these other dudes.
Yeah, that's a clean, man.
25. But, Dennis Smith Jr. got a clean slate. I hope
DSJ has to show. This is the thing about DSJ, though. DSJ has lived his whole life as a shooting guard who can't shoot in a point guard's body, right? Since NC State, he's always been a guy who's been his basis game off of athleticism, get into the bucket. In terms of facilitation, I don't think he's high level. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt yet, right?
He's
shooting, can't do that. His best year with the Mavericks, his usage rate was 28.9%. He's not getting that with the Knicks. So he has to find a way to be a fit. And Tibbs likes guards who could take their guys off the dribble and shoot. They have to be able to shoot.
So that leads us into the question, Guillermo. Who's just starting five?
If you want to say that. Who else did he have? Jimmy Butler, mid-range.
Nate Robb.
Yeah.
Miritich.
But I'm talking about guards.
Mike Dunleavy. But think about the archetypes he had, and then look at the roster right now, and then you could kind of see like how it run those type of players.
You see DSJ beating out
CJ Miles too.
He had DJ Augustine too.
Yeah, he had both of them.
Oh yeah, also Teagues. I'm forgetting about the Wolves. Teagues, what other guards do you have on the Wolves?
Nah, Jeff Teague was bad on the Thibodeau, and I think he hated Cat.
Right. But
like Jeff Teague.
The interest to keep Teague was from the Atlanta years, right, or the Atlanta production, right? So
Teague was a waiter, man. Teague just let everybody come on in, and he just took
man. Teague was never that good. Like every time he played Kyrie in the playoffs, Kyrie punked him. Like I don't like Teague.
I like CJ Watson.
Yeah.
What did you think of CJ Watson?
I like CJ Watson because he played his role. But see, remember when Wayne Ellington used to do pick and rolls last year? And you look at him, and Guillermo, I've heard you say this a million times. Why the F is Wayne Ellington running pick and rolls?
That was crazy. That was crazy. That let you know you ain't had no direction.
That was weird.
He wasn't smart.
And Julius had to deal with that too.
That's the thing about
Julius Randle had to deal with that too.
CJ Watson can shoot from three. That's the thing about DSJ has to find. He had again that jump shot. It has to be dependable because if you watch how Thibodeau coaches these again, just going back triangle, the weak side. When you play that 2-man game with the pinch post, you need a guard who can shoot the ball.
If you can't shoot, you ain't threatening the defense.
So DSJ, everybody's going off his rookie year, right? And Michael Carter Williams had a great rookie year, and then obviously he didn't pan out to be a good player.
That was a shocker. That was a big shocker.
I wish DSJ could go to a G League, but that's wishful thinking. People ain't gonna ruin their contract.
Man, there's a lot of people that should go to the G League.
Yo, State, you frozen. State, you frozen, man.
Yeah.
But hey,
I think DSJ is a. Go ahead, man.
I tell you this: when you look at the setup this year for us, man, really the bar is set low. I mean, really, anything we get from these young guys, man. I mean, everybody pretty much on a 1-year deal. That's the crazy thing. So theoretically, these guys are playing for their NBA lives. Other than Obi, RJ, and who else? That's it.
I think DSJ is going to come off the bench. I don't think he's starting. Here's my reasoning. He's the type of guy with a second unit where you want him to play fast, get out in transition, have a pace type of start.
I can see that.
As much as Elfrid Payton is a liability and is not a great shooter, the bottom line is he can pass. He can pass, and he also defends. And I think Thibodeau is going to have trust in Elfrid to at least to start the season to be a starter. I'm not saying it's going to finish like that. I think Dennis Smith can help this team. I really believe that because we saw what he can do in Dallas, and last year was a joke. If he plays like last year, he's going to be in the G League. Okay, we all understand that. But God of Moses, it's nothing personal. I appreciate your love for Randall, and I hope Randall's an all-star, my man. I
So
hope
that's to our benefit.
I want him to be
benefit. I tell you that.
You gotta fall out of love with. Someone said Rasho Nesterovic from the Knicks. But you gotta fall out of love with players, man, on the team, man. People think I hate these. I don't hate any of these. I want these guys to kill. The Knicks make the playoffs with Kevin Knox averaging 20. I'm throwing ish in everybody's face, but the only way to be objective is to detach yourself away from the individual player and look at the team success. How do they help the team?
You're right about that, Graham.
No, that's the only way, man. My favorite player in
hold on. I knew
that $100 million contract was trash.
Go ahead. Moses, go ahead.
No. I mean, you make some great points, but again, a lot of people blame Frank's regression or Knox regression on Randall, or even.
No, I don't blame Randall.
I blame it on a lot of coaches.
I blame coaching, man. I mean, let's call out some of these names. Hey, Guillermo, you wasn't here.
Hold up.
Let's call out these names of these coaches that these young fellas had, man. Hornacek.
No, okay.
Fizdale. Kurt Rambis.
Thank you.
Mike Miller. Ain't none of them guys a head coach in this league. Not even an assistant. So what that tells you?
So
Mike Miller's assistant went.
Randall had the same coaches. What I'm trying to explain to you is
I ain't even heard about that even being even in light.
But what I want to explain to you is that Randall had the same coach is what I'm trying to explain to you, because a lot of people lose sight and they just expect him to do it. The only thing he did was he expected from himself is listen, man, the coach could be terrible, but I still got a job to do, and he had to finish his job. And whatever, did it lead to wins? No, but at least he was productive on the floor.
I will give you this, God of Moses. What Randall had, what Randall had, honestly, and I'm being totally objective. Mm-hmm. I said the slate is clean. I'm being totally objective. Mm-hmm. What Randall was for us, he had the best offensive package of any player on the team. He was our best offensive player. Well, I got to give you that.
Yeah, but people act like Randall had a different coach. He didn't have a different coach. He had the same coach as Frank and Knox and RJ. I mean,
I got to say this. I'll give you this too about Randall. And look, I'm not a big Randall guy, but I'll give you this. That was the first time last year he's ever been put in that situation, and it's a tough spot to be in. To carry the load. He's never had to do that. So I'm trying to give him the benefit of the doubt. Hopefully, the hope is this, God of Moses. He looks at all the things he did wrong and learns from it, gets the awareness to say, how can I help us win and lead with my points? And he comes back a much better and hungrier player that helps Tibbs. That's the goal.
Well, again, I want to add to that. Excellent point you made. You made excellent point. It was his first time being a first option, but then you recognize, oh snap, this coach is terrible.
Yeah.
What the hell is going on over here? So I'm like, I signed this deal. I went to go sign with the Knicks. They're telling me I'm going to be a first option. Steve Mills is telling me that we're going to make. Sure. And then once you get to the team, you recognize that the offense is terrible and the coach is terrible.
But God, my only beef with Randall is that I would have fixed it earlier. After the mistake.
He can only do so much sometimes when you're
but God of Moses, Elijah, passing out of double teams, right? That's not, you don't need a high level coach to tell you that. That's
exactly. That means trust your teammates.
Yeah, that's selfishness. That's you being selfish trying to make
that's what my biggest
play. That has nothing to do with all this. Because think about this, God. If I make the right basketball play and you mess up, that's not on me. That's
gonna be on you.
If I have to have a system, this is what you do. This is what a good player does, or a player. I'm gonna make the pass. He doesn't make it. The coaches assess. Okay, Julius Randle made the right pass. Yeah. That guy can't make that shot. We have to get a new player to fill that guy's shoe. We have to replace him, right? It's not on Julius Randle, right?
And it goes hand in hand. It's both the coach's fault and Randall's fault. You can't blame one person.
I'm glad that they brought in Kenny Payne. I feel like he needed that, and also the coaching staff. I wouldn't be surprised if Randall fought to have this kind of coaching staff as well. Like he probably.
But if Randall does not,
Randall had nothing to do with that.
Possibly, I mean,
Randall had that much crowd in the organization.
This is why you cannot depend on coaching, right? One of the reasons why, because they bring in the right coach and you don't do better. That looks bad on you. This is why
exactly.
I'm
they bring in your guy.
individually. Fuck these coaches, man. The NBA is a dog eat dog world, right?
I mean, no matter what. So the
you got to find a way. It's tough.
Guillermo, it's very hard to look right when you don't have a good coaching staff. It's either you don't want it like Randall, or you're.
But God knows Elijah, right?
Or you're not so unselfish like Kevin Knox and Frank Ntilikina. It's
most
hard to win.
We have a Randall, right? Okay, put it like this, right? Randall was asked to be a so-called point forward at the beginning of the season, right? If Randall had a bunch of passes, right, to guys who would just fumble the ball, right, and they led to turnovers, right, then that's one thing, right? Randall is he's trying to do a lot in a system that he was asked to do this, right? But spin moving from the foul line like it's NBA Jam into crowded freaking defenses has nothing. That's not. No one asked you to do that.
I don't disagree. I don't disagree.
When Randall's effective? When Randall gets his butt in the deep post, right in the deep post.
That's his best place.
It's an extremely effective shot. Do that all day, right?
63%.
But and taking the ball away, and this is the thing I like about Randall. You took the ball away from Frank Ntilikina in a year where we're not making the playoffs, right? A guy like Frank Ntilikina, and you're supposed this is why I like Jimmy Butler, right? Jimmy Butler looks at this team with the Heat, and he found ways to make them better. When he played the Knicks, he only had 9 points at one time. But everybody else was killing. All the young kids were killing. Julius Randle took the ball out of a young, impressionable kid, whether you like Frank or not, right? But to do that instead of saying, hey, yo, make this shot, baby. Give them confidence. Be that team player, right? What is one technical foul shot?
I want to answer you. I want to answer you, Guillermo. You're asking a lot of questions. I want to answer them. Again, I'm trying to reiterate. You either are unselfish and not hungry enough like Kevin Knox and Frank Ntilikina, or you're too stupid like Julius Randle. It's very easy. It's very difficult not to win when you don't have good coaching staff. And now we finally got a good coaching staff.
I got a good analogy for this.
Hold on. You didn't answer my question, God. Taking the foul shot away from a young, impressionable kid, which can build up his confidence, right? What does that technical shot do for you?
I don't know. I can't.
Versus a guy like Frank, versus a guy like Frank, or a guy like this, a guy like Knox. Give the ball to Knox in a pressure situation. Say, yo, I trust you, bro.
Steven, it sounds like you want to chime in. Go ahead.
See, we talking about leadership.
I don't know.
Hey, let me ask a question. Pose it to everyone. We'll go around the horn on the impact of Tibbs. His first season with Chicago, they won 21 more games than the previous season. His first season with Minnesota, he won 2 more games than the previous season. We'll go around the horn. What's your expectations? We won 21 games last year. What do you think the impact of Tibbs will be this year?
I'll go ahead. I'll let you know. I think just based off the fact that we got a better coach, that's going to get us 5 wins. And the fact that we got better players this year, we got better players this year than we did last year with those veterans that Guillermo was talking about. I think that's another 5 wins. So realistically,
31.
I'd say 30 to 31 wins.
Kevin?
I guess I'll top off on a higher end. I'm saying between 30 and 35.
Guillermo?
Both those teams have way more talent than we have now. I say anywhere from 25 to 30.
Latrell?
Yeah, I think that's fair, Legion. I think I would say 27 to 28 wins. Tibbs going to get them 5 or 6 wins with the new team, but we got to be realistic. So that's my take.
Rob?
I say last year alone, the Knicks lost, I counted about at least 12 games that they could have won, that they was in the search to win the game, even with bad coaching. So I say Tibbs should be plus 10, and the Nucleus playing again is plus 5. So I say in between 30 and 35 wins.
Ralph?
It's only 72 games this season, right?
Yep.
75. So 72.
72. So I'm gonna be humble, but I'm gonna even though it's gonna be a lot of good coaching and a lot of good development. I'm gonna say 20 and 25. But I just see that the game is going to be played better, and
so you're giving them 4 more wins from last season?
No, I would want to say more, but I just think that they're gonna play better though. I just don't know.
Well,
Maybe they lose by one. Maybe they lose by one. Maybe they lose a lot of games by one or something.
God of Moses, you're being humble right now.
I get a good laugh every night, man. I appreciate y'all, fellas, man.
You know what I'm gonna say?
I look at it as there's a lot of factors that favor the Knicks.
True.
It's the fact that it's a condensed season.
No fans.
They're really young.
There you
They're
go,
not going to
Latrell.
tire out. They're not going to need the rest that the older playoff teams are going to, be having their load management for some of their players.
Mm-hmm.
Did you hear the NBA decision today on that?
Oh yeah, they're gonna start finding.
If it's a TV-based game, they'll fine you up to $100,000, but they will allow you, if it's not a TV game, to rest one of your star players.
So let me ask you a question.
Rule. That's
How
a good
many
rule.
teams are going to look on the Knicks schedule or look on their schedule and see the Knicks? Like, that's the game we're going to have you do some load management on. And some of those games are going to be some of the games we steal.
Yeah.
So you look at the games that we might steal because their best players are out.
I'm interested to see how we come out the
So
game.
wait, Kevin, how do you feel if we
the
still lost those
telltale
games,
sign of
Kevin?
the season.
Kevin, what they low manage the games? What if we play teams at low minutes, like they're starting 5 and we still lose? What would you think about?
I feel bad for our players because Tibbs is going to get on them.
If he ain't above making them practice after a loss, maybe
If we
even the
lose to
same night. You
Hawks
heard
with
me?
load management, man. Oh my god.
See, Guillermo, that's what we talking about.
I'm
That's
joking,
exactly what we're
Rob.
talking
Chill
about.
the F out. I'm joking.
Let me ask you this.
Those are
Guys,
facts that you have to take into account that
You gotta watch
we
you,
may
Guillermo.
steal
What do you think? I'm a
some
Nets fan?
games
I'm
here
only
and
joking
there
about this team.
to increase our the win total. And plus, if RJ and Knox both average more than 15 this season, you got to do is Randall. But go ahead.
If the Knicks win 30 games, okay, and they just show signs of being more competitive every night, I'll take it.
And you know what? The national media will still be trying to clown us.
Who cares?
When it would be apparent that the team is better. You know what I mean?
The national media had a person that did not vote AD in any of the all NBA teams. I don't give a damn what they say, bro.
Exactly. Exactly. I'm with you, girl. But I'm gonna tell you, man. I was sitting there thinking, and we all know this to be the truth, man. When we was talking about Julius Randle impact and all this, man. Great players keep coaches hired.
Yep.
Bad players and average players get coaches fired.
Exactly right. That's
Where
true.
Fizdale at?
He's not anywhere right now.
On
He's with
jump.
his wife.
But it's
just
a
like
22, right?
No, he with that super team that they making in the G League. He working with them.
And so my thing is with Fizdale is I think really, man, like the front office, that's why I keep saying malpractice, man. I don't know what tape they saw where they saw where this guy could develop young players and pass up Mark Jackson, because that was really my hope that we had got Mark Jackson, somebody who was proven to work with young players. But Fizdale's body of work, he had Dwayne Wade, he had LeBron, and he had Chris Bosh. Those guys were not rookies and not young players. And then when he left there, he went to Memphis. That thing was already established with Zebo and Gasol and them guys and Conley. Those were not rookie teams. And I didn't understand how in the world he got that job.
The Knicks made a mistake. They thought that Fizdale could attract free agents because they mistakenly assumed just because I had a relationship with LeBron James and Dwayne Wade.
And they went with the wrong thing. Because
and you guys are forgetting one thing. The person who's making these decisions, Steve Mills, because Dolan stayed out the way of it. He said, I was not involved in the Fizdale hire. That was all Steve Mills. Like, not blame him. He's like, I gave the
I don't blame
Steve Mills does not know basketball. Have you ever felt outside of what the Marcus Moore? Well, no, he was even pressured to do that. Maybe the KP trade, if that pick turns into something. I can't on my hand count 5 great things or really good things Steve Mills has done. The guy's in that. So again, he hires a guy like Fizdale, right? Who everybody probably saw like, this guy is. He had the Grizzlies. The only thing he did good for the Grizzlies, I think, was try to get Gasol to shoot more threes, and he became more of a 3-point shooter. Gasol, right? Fizzo's not, and that team went to the playoffs. Take that for data or whatever the hell it was, right?
Mhm.
Or at least one of the years they made the playoffs or whatever, right? Fizzo's not a good coach, so I'm happy we got basketball people. Leon Rose hired basketball people because again, I'm wary of agents turn GM, but they hired a lot of basketball people. Let the basketball be run. You got Johnny Bryant, you got Kenny Payne, you got developmental coaches, you got Tom Thibodeau. I think Kenny Payne is waiting in the wings. I think that if Thibodeau fails, they're gonna push Kenny Payne and push him.
I feel that too, Guillermo. Me and you seeing eye to eye on that.
So I like again, Thibodeau's a system guy, and let's be honest. Even when we had Hornacek wasn't seeing eye to eye with the system with Phil Jackson, right? Same thing with Derek Fisher. Right?
Yeah, when Fisher broke away from that triangle and we started playing.
When was the last time we had proper synergy from the owner all the way down to the coach?
This is the first time in a long time. Yeah, this is the first time in a long time.
25 years.
Yeah,
20 years.
Easy.
And the closest we had it, I'll even say the closest we probably had it was when Donnie Walsh was here, right? And those were
years.
We say it again, bro.
And we traded all of them away.
Phelps in years, right before
Dolan got it.
I don't blame Donnie for that. I don't blame
Dolan for that.
The playoffs. Remember that team was on pace to get the 7 and 8 seed that year before the Melo.
That's all in Carmelo.
And
they get all
because Dolan wanted to jump ahead and get Carmelo, right? We traded all those guys, despite the fact that Melo was always going to come to New York.
He was going to be a free agent at the end of the season. That was the dumbest thing,
right?
That was the dumbest thing.
So now we have synergy in the front office, and we can get that with the players, the right players that we want to draft, and we get the system. The Knicks will be in the playoffs sooner rather than later. So, I'm taking from an objective standpoint. As long as we go around the right way about building this team, I have no problem with the progress.
And that's why, Guillermo, I'm going to tell you, that's why I love people were down on that hire of Leon Rose. I'm going to tell you why I love the hire of Leon Rose. One thing we know about agents deals in numbers, they deal in facts. They're not going to go out there and overpay.
I'm a Mets fan. Brody Van Wagen. I'm a Mets fan. Do not say that.
They're not going to go out there and overpay for players more than the market rate. And that's the biggest credibility I think Leon Rose has brought back to our franchise, is that he said, hey, look, them guys, we were looking at them guys, rightfully so. But those guys thought they was going to just come in and be able to get them major deals. Oh, because it's the Knicks. Nah, Leon Rose said, hey, look, this is the floor. And this is the ceiling. I ain't going no further. I ain't going no lower. Either you take it or you leave it. You can go someplace else. I can give you that $120 million when you can't stay healthy.
Yo, Ron, I'm a Mets fan, Ron, and I have to dispute your point. We got Brody Van Wagen, right? Thank God he's gone. This dude traded one of the best up-and-coming prospects in all of baseball for Robinson Cano, who just got suspended a second time for PEDs, Edwin Diaz, who can't pitch in clutch situations. So I'm wary of GMs, agents turn GMs, because some of them, I agree with you. Some of them, they'll make good deals, right? But some of them literally try to make a splash.
Hey, let me throw this name at you.
Decision makers.
And Steve brought this out, and I'm glad Steve brought this out. Let me throw this name at you. All-time greatest GM for the Bulls that put that Bulls team together. You know what kind of GM he was? You know where he came from? He was one of those guys. He was one of those guys.
From baseball. He never even knew basketball. He was from baseball.
Exactly.
Thank you.
And he was a former agent.
You talking about Kraus?
Yeah.
I think Reinsdorf. My bad.
So when you look at the factors, all I'm saying is with Leon Rose got a plan. I trust it, especially with what I've seen right now. Because this is what we should have done last year. What are you doing now is what we should have done last year.
I gotta respond to Thesis Thomas in the chat, who says Melo trade was not a bad trade. Not one of the players we gave up become on the level of Melo. My response to that is that team before we traded Carmelo was a team. Okay. And Carmelo, I'm sorry. I understand. I respect Carmelo. I respect what he did for New York and that he embraced it. I get all that. But he was wrong. He needed to come in the offseason because we had a ready-made team. Mm-hmm. That's why he's not on the level of LeBron and Wade when they finagled and did what they needed to do.
It's about foresight. It's about foresight.
You have to have a foresight when you do things like that. And that's the bottom.
And I'm telling you, if Melo would have waited, fellas,
Melo was going to win a title. That strike season, and he wanted to get under a contract. Melo worried too much about his money, while Wade and LeBron worried about championships. And at the end, that cost them for not having the ring.
And guess the beautiful thing when you
would have got that from Melo
when you win a championship in New York, you would have got all the money you wanted.
Melo was approaching, I don't say superstar, but almost close to that with his time with Denver. Like, oh, this dude is a problem. Melo was narrow-minded, very short-sighted. He messed it up, and this is where Dolan has to stay out of it. Dolan cannot. If we come into a player where it's like, oh, he wants to come to the Knicks, blah blah blah. If the front office don't want it, stay out of it.
And it wasn't the front office didn't want it. It was about time, and they knew everybody in the league knew
about the
he was
money.
going to be about to be a free agent, and he wanted to come to New York.
I disagree with the people in the chat. Gallinari was good, man. Gallinari.
I love Gal. I love him. I love him.
Gallinari. Do y'all remember okay, I remember this like it was yesterday. Gallinari, remember he had the back issues, right? Go back. Obviously, we won't go back, but just remember when we went to that trip in LA, the Clippers, right? And that was when Blake Griffin dunked on Mozgov with that spin move dunk.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, that was when D'Antoni was slowly trying to get Gallinari to be more aggressive and get to the line. And literally right after that trip, Gallinari, I don't remember the splits. Maybe someone could look it up, but it was probably around like 15 to 17 points he was average because he was getting to the line. He was a tall, annoying, lanky guy. Remember, he used to do that fake from the three and then drive off his right and just drive and get fouled. Wilson Chandler, I believe, was shooting close to 40% from three that year.
40% from three.
DePaul and go look at Wilson Chandler's form from DePaul. It was appalling. No pun intended, whatever. It was terrible. Develop his jump shot. You had Raymond Felton would have made the All-Star team if it wasn't for Rondo that year. Raymond Felton had 17-7 that year, I believe, 18-7, something like that, right? And that pick and roll,
Chauncey was good. Chauncey gave us what he could.
Was 19-9.
Chauncey gave us what he could.
We can look it up. If it wasn't for Rondo, because Rondo, remember that year, he had an absurd year, like assist-wise. Every time he go for a layup, he like throw back to like Ray for assists or whatever. He made the All-Star team over Raymond Felton. And he had Amari Stoudemire. I believe at one point was I don't know. He was top 10 at one point for MVP voting for like guesstimations of that ish, right? Not the end of the season, obviously, but at one point, right? We had and Mozgov was a productive center with that team.
Yeah, he was coming along.
Landry Fields was productive in that system.
We had a team, man. We had a team.
You had a team, bro.
Shout out, fellas, to Sparks 2718 in the chat. Hey, Elizabeth Sparks 2718 in the chat has the same.
I don't think Landry Fields was there.
No, Sparks 2718 said Melo was Durant-esque in Denver.
Melo had.
I can't disagree with that one.
And he was
Melo was.
You guys may disagree with me on this, but Melo only had one really good year with the Knicks.
Yep. Yes, I agree.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Only one. Okay. And so when all these people in the chat are telling me that I'm crazy by saying about Gallo and the team before, Melo was playing with Jared Jeffries and Tony Douglas in the Boston Celtics playoff series. Whose fault?
You know what though? You know what? Had he stayed and waited, he would have been a better player with us because of the would have made life so much easier for him.
You need to have a team around you.
He complained about not having a point guard. You would have had more flexibility if you just came as a free agent and the team can be all right. We have assets. We can move this. We could do.
Man, hey, I argue with my nephews all the time when they be trying to talk about us. I said, man, if Melo would have waited,
now people in the chat are saying, Melo had more than one good year. Please tell me the years that Melo had a good year in New York, besides 2012, 2013 when he was an MVP.
I know. Now, what's the guy? I'll say this: the second year the full year he had with us was a great year because that's when Woodson took over and made him focus more on defense.
And you also had,
but everyone forgets that
Jason Kidd was there too.
Everyone forgets every year. Melo, by the end of the year, his shoulder was hurting, his knee was hurting. He wasn't the same player at the end of the year that he began the year with.
And Melo used to be big too. He was carrying a lot of weight.
Andy, I do call the Anthony Donahue show. I'm Ron from Baltimore. Yes, that's me. But I'll just say this. Look, I love Carmelo. I'm not taking a shot. He's a Hall of Fame player. My only point is this.
I love him too, man.
You have to have pieces around you. Nobody can do it by themselves. And Melo's to blame for a lot of it. I'm trying to be honest.
Not even Randall.
The truth hurts.
You always try to find a way to bring Randall back. Hey, Randall related to you? I think
No,
Randall
I'm telling you, these guys. I'm telling you, these guys are trying to throw all the blame at Randall, man.
This guy, God does not forget.
Hey, you better. Hey, I'm gonna tell you what. You better hope Randall have a great year.
I'm telling you,
remembering what you saying in this chat.
I'm telling you, I'm betting big too.
Hey, Guillermo, he better hope Randall have a good year. Cause
God does not forget, bro. This dude will bring up things from like 5 years. Yo, remember when you? It's like, yo, dogs.
You got a memory on it,
bro. Here's the thing: how many people think that Randall's going to be on this team by the end of the year?
Me,
I don't.
Raise
I'm
your
gonna
hand.
tell you, it depends on how he plays. I'll say this, Kev.
I think he's gonna be there.
If he plays with the rest of the team and don't be that selfish, Randall, he might be here. But if he and then when that's predicated on the fact that he has to agree to go to that 6-man role because Obi,
the only way he
at
does
some
that,
point, Obi got to start.
Ron, the only way he does that is if he turns to Jakim Noah plus Carlos Boozer. He's not doing that.
Guys,
That's
I don't care how many points Carmelo
it's
averaged. I don't care how many points. I got to respond to this people in the chat there that are telling me he averaged over 25 for this many. I don't care. That doesn't matter to me. I know Carmelo can put the ball in the hole. That's not my point.
Melo is also a relic. Melo comes from the early 2000s volume shooting type of role, right? The guys, the McGrady's, all these guys who, the Baron Davises, who weren't necessarily, they were talented, but they were volume shooters, right? The NBA
checker.
Hey, C-Mac, hold on, Guillermo. I got to respond to this in the chat, man. C-Mac, ain't nobody love Frank Ntilikina more than no Carmelo Anthony. Ain't nobody said that now. Don't go put
he's trolling. Don't listen. C-Mac.
Don't put that in there, man, because you sound crazy for writing that, man. If anybody gonna compare Frank Ntilikina, and I know I like Frank, ain't no way I'm gonna compare Frank to no Carmelo Anthony. You know what? Carmelo Anthony's dressing room is the Taj Mahal, and Frank dressing room is a doghouse.
Look, the organization deserves blame. Carmelo is right that does the organization deserve blame for not helping Carmelo in certain spots? Absolutely. I'm not letting the organization. They deserve a lot of blame too. But all I'm saying is, look, he was an all-star. Carmelo was an all-star type player. But in my opinion, there were certain seasons I expected more from him, even with the roster he had. I'm not blaming him completely, but I'm not going to sit here and say the guy had 5 amazing years with the Knicks.
You know what, though? Let's be real.
Put his name in the rafters.
He was a great scorer, but not a great player.
Let's be real, man. We got to be honest about this thing.
Great point, Stephen Fox.
You know what the problem is, though, Latrell? You got Melo ran into the same thing that everybody ran into when Jordan was playing.
Yeah.
You're not beating LeBron. I'm sorry.
You ran into Paul George.
We had some of the most. We had wins against those Heat teams, man.
They wouldn't be, but you're talking 7 games. Remember, were you confident that the Knicks would beat them boys in 7 games? No way.
No.
Melo ran into
Melo
Roy
used
Hibbert.
to give LeBron.
Yeah, you're right. Roy Hibbert with that block.
That's who Melo ran into. He ran into
Melo.
Roy Hibbert.
No, this is what I don't like about Melo, right? Melo could have, again, when you are superlative talent, when you're being called a superstar or whatever, right? It is up to you to find it. Now, did we put, obviously, the coaching and all that stuff? Yes, that was an issue. But Melo himself, I think, with the lack of defense, the fact that I'm not saying he could have been a great facilitator, but he could have improved in that side and made guys around him better. Melo did not do that.
Man,
so
look,
you
I tell you
what.
Melo,
Melo, you gotta respect Melo, man. And Melo numbers should be retired.
Hold on. Let me make this point. When you play in that small forward spot, look, Melo's game is predicated off a point guard. If you got a point guard on that team, then Melo gonna get his. But if you don't put a point guard with Melo, it's not gonna work.
Let's stop calling these guys superstars then, because when I'm thinking superstars, I'm thinking guys who can impact the game.
LeBron.
I'm thinking of guys who can impact the game on a higher level.
And then let him go to
both sides of the ball, Guillermo.
Thank you. When you have a superstar, to me, that means that, not saying you don't need players around you, right? But you impact the game where you're going to the play. You are a threat, right? And people compare Melo to LeBron. And yes, LeBron plays point forward, different role, whatever.
Yeah.
Let's stop calling these guys
Melo
superstars.
came into the league.
People call him Melo a superstar.
He took Denver to the playoffs. They've never been to the playoffs.
And should have beat that LA team. The Lakers were one for them refs. Them refs cheated for LA in that series when Melo was giving them the business.
You know, people
Rob,
can't
to your
forget
point.
that. When
Rob,
LeBron wasn't going to the playoffs, he
Rob
was
in the house.
Rob, to your
Hey, everybody.
Yeah.
point.
What's
Rob,
going on,
What's
man?
good?
Yo,
Man.
It's cold out here, brother.
Rob, I gotta say this, Rob. To your
Hey,
point about the point
it's
guard.
cold. It's cold out here, brother. Hey, y'all debate is fire. Y'all debate is fire, man. Hey, this product is so dope, man. I let somebody at work watch y'all, like watch what y'all doing, and they like, yo, this thing right here is gonna be mega huge. So Latrell Spree, hey, good job, boss. Hey,
man,
you doing good. Hey, way to hold your ground. Don't back down from everybody, man. You doing
Uncle
good.
Freezy, I just gotta say this. I love Carmelo. He's a great player, and on to Rob's point, he needed a good point guard. The year in 2012 when he was an MVP candidate, he had Jason Kidd who was directing him, putting him in the right position to succeed, and then Melo played as a team, and the ball was moving. But if Melo doesn't have that, and he has to be that guy, it's not going to work. Period.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you something else. Hey, I'm gonna further your point real quick. So you are gonna encounter that same situation that you just mentioned with RJ Barrett and Obi Toppin. That same frustration level that you have right now, you're gonna have that going forward for the next 6, 7, 8 years if the Knicks don't legit get a bona fide floor general. So that frustration, why you think you probably compartmentalized. Put it away. You put it away, right? But guess what? It's coming back. Yeah, compartmentalized. Yeah. So it's coming back because the point guards that we have this year are trash.
Freezy. He doesn't need.
Can I?
Thibodeau will find a way. Thibodeau morphs his system to the talents around him. Not to say we don't need a point guard, but he's gonna run sets to take the importance off of needing or having this dynamic point guard, right? This is why I respect Tibbs. He's a system guy. I'm not saying you should only be a system guy, right? But he tweaks his offense, right? He's a student of the game. The guy was studying with the freaking Warriors or studying with their system, right? So he's going to try to find ways to make this team effective without having that so-called point guard, man. So, I mean, I'm putting faith in the system. Not necessarily the players yet, whatever. I have to still see it. But Tom Thibodeau is going to run a system that gets the most out of this Knicks team.
But guess what? Though?
I ain't going to take that Melo slander now. I'm going to tell you right now. Put some respect on
Melo.
Melo name.
It's being honest about Melo. Melo wasn't a smart guy. Again, we fall in love with players. Melo could have
Hey, let me throw this second point in there. I just got to say a couple things real quick. So first of all, it's crazy that this video doesn't have like 200 likes. Because I watched Stephen Fox play point guard for this panel, and he was no-look passing to cats like Legion of Knicks podcast and Ghana Moses and Elijah, and it was seamless. If I watched this, you wouldn't even know who Uncle Freezy is. You know what I'm saying? Hey, good job, Steve, and everybody on the panel. Good job for jumping in. No, my only thing is when somebody talking, man, just let them finish. Just let them finish their point, man, because sometimes they get to a point where you have like 4 people talking.
Heated in here.
Yeah. When 4 people started talking, man, I can't legit take on somebody's point. And sometimes the points are dope. I just can't hear what they're saying. But also, hey man, for the virtual chat, man, y'all subscribe to the channel. This thing is fire. I played it for this girl. I played it for a girl at work, and she was like, "Yo, this thing right here is fire." Everybody coming on here talking about the Knicks. Yeah, I was like, "Yep." This thing fire, right? She's like, "This is fire, right here." The whole setup, the way that everybody come on and just have the conversation, it's like all of y'all are in the same room. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that right there is dope. And if y'all like that, and hadn't subscribed to the channel, make sure y'all subscribe to the channel, man. You know what I'm saying? Subscribe to.
You got me feeling now. You got me feeling. I can't wait till the season start. Man, imagine if we just lit now. Imagine how it's gonna be when the season start. You heard me? God, I got my eyes on you, boy.
I just want to see the Doom mask.
I want to segue
Friday.
I got no agenda. To this Woj bomb, and I want to ask a question.
Go ahead.
So apparently,
Hey, hold on,
James Harden.
hold on, man. Let me finish before
Oh.
y'all run me over real quick.
Go
So make sure y'all subscribe to the channel. Make sure y'all smash that like button. And we're gonna do this every day. This is every day. This is I ain't gonna say 365, but I'm gonna say about all year, every day. From
Every
here
day.
on. We might skip like a holiday of Christmas or New Year's Eve or something. No, who knows? I don't know. But make sure y'all subscribe to the channel because these cats, man, we gonna be consistent with this Knicks content. And for the international viewers out there, make sure y'all smash the like button. I see y'all come in and y'all watch, but y'all don't smash that like button or subscribe to the channel. So make sure y'all subscribe because we talking this Knicks stuff for y'all too. We not excluding y'all. I'm gonna jump out here and listen, but y'all been great, man.
Hey, man, look, I just want to say one thing.
Question.
Hold on.
Yeah,
So,
I had a question.
Kevin want to say something. You got a
Go ahead.
Woj bomb?
yeah, I got a Woj bomb that it turns out that James Harden has reported to Rockets camp. Finally, now the question is, we've been talking about building up these assets.
Oh Lord.
No, I'm not.
Hey,
Oh,
Don't do this to me.
Stop in the name of love, brother. Mm-mm.
Talking about having these assets for a disgruntled star, and you can't overlook the fact that there is a disgruntled star.
Mm-mm.
Did you hear what Harden had to say?
He's not the right.
I almost did a video on him today. I almost went in on him today.
As long as it doesn't have to do with Randall, we're okay.
Talking about the Knicks or
Yo, leave me alone, man.
the Rockets or the Knicks of the West. When I heard that, I almost did a video on him.
Yo, if RJ Barrett ever shot 2 for 11 and had 11 turnovers in a Game 6 closeout game, he can't come back to New York.
You got that right.
I don't even want to hear about number 9 no more.
John
So
Starks.
for Kevin,
That's a good point, John.
you better throw that garbage out of your mind right now.
I
don't want no part of Harden.
I think it's a legitimate.
Me neither, Ron.
Shout out to TL. He lacks leadership.
I'll say this. I say this to be objective. I say this to be objective, though.
Oh Lord. Watch.
If I'm keeping RJ, the kids might as well get ready to. I ship them kids to Houston.
Let's look at this objectively.
If I look at it objectively,
let's look at this objectively. I don't think that Leon Rose accumulated all these draft picks to actually draft all these players.
True. I agree.
So with that being said, he's going to make a move. Now,
but see, Kev, this is why I said that move is going to happen next off season that you're talking about. This is why I said that this season they got the assets accumulated, right? But they're going to showcase these guys. I think RJ's off limits, but I think they're going to make a trade for a current All-Star before next free agency. So that window is probably next draft and right before free agency. But I think they're going to make a trade for a current All-Star. Now that current All-Star, I don't know who, but that's to try to get one of the big names to walk through that door. I don't want to say his name because that.
Hold on.
Here's the Kentucky.
Here's the thing. So if you take a look at next year's free agent class, right? Let's just say hypothetically that Giannis does sign his Supermax deal. Let's just take Giannis off the board. Let's just say he signs it. If you look at everyone else who's a free agent next year, it's not a superstar because you don't think Kawhi or PG-13 are leaving Los Angeles. LeBron's already re-upped. AD's already re-upped. I mean, there's nobody else really out there to get.
But I wouldn't start it with James Harden. so I'm good. I'm good. I'm in no rush to trade for no James Harden.
ISO don't win the chip. ISO never wins the chip.
Never. Devin Booker, He's not going to be on the market for another 2 years.
Yeah, they're all maxed out.
Donovan, he's not going to be on the market for another 2 years. It's looking murky. Probably Karl Anthony Towns, but he got D'Angelo. Let's see how that works out in the year, and then we could talk. But
the only one potentially is Beal.
Beal is not going nowhere. I already said Washington.
If Washington makes the playoffs,
they're going to make the playoffs.
In the playoffs, I don't think Beal's going anywhere.
They're going to be a top 5 seed for sure. I already said it. They big shoot 40+% from three. I don't know, bro. I don't think Giannis. If he resigns, then I don't know what else. The Knicks might as well just hope for them kids to be good. Because
what position is Giannis going to play? Because we got Julius.
What? Julius is gone, bro. He's gone. Stop.
Yeah, Captain. He's saying
we drafted Obi. It's quiet for Julius. It's quiet.
Hold on.
Just like
Why do you feel like? Let's say Obi transcends. Do you really honestly? And I want you to be honest with us. Do you even if he finishes this season out? Do you honestly think that Julius Randle will be on the team in 21-22?
No.
Yes.
No. Oh man,
He's gonna be traded because he can get us something. He'll be traded.
No.
Moon rocks again, man.
Timeline, man. I'm convinced.
He's in the timeline. He's young enough. We got
I
Kenny Payne.
I think you got a Julius Randle.
Y'all got to focus on Frank and y'all got to focus on Knox. Don't worry about Randle. That power forward position is just fine.
Man.
Y'all better look elsewhere, man.
So why draft
Obi?
Man, Moses.
Why we drafted
Emmanuel
quickly?
Pajamas.
Okay,
We didn't have a point guard.
Shooters.
Okay, so you're saying Frank is out of? So Frank is out of here then? Frank and DSJ are out of here because we drafted Emmanuel quickly. Is that what you're saying?
He's not saying that.
Yeah, a very good chance. Yeah,
That's what you say.
But listen, I'm asking you now because you say just because you drafted Obi that Julius Randle's gone.
Obi
Then
was a
if we
top
drafted,
10
if we drafted Emmanuel quickly,
Obi is
then
a top 10 pick.
Hold on. If you drafted Emmanuel
Randle's
quickly,
contract
that's
doesn't show longevity.
Frank's replacement. That's
If you
Frank's
really wanna
replacement.
That's a
right?
good point.
If you really want to look at it, Randall's contract doesn't show longevity.
His contract is fine. Hold on. Emmanuel quickly is Frank's replacement and DSJ's replacement. Yes or no?
Campa decide that.
No.
Campa
No.
decide that.
I'm not saying he is.
You
I'm
how
saying,
you guys are, man.
but here's my thing.
What, we didn't feed into
Emmanuel
it?
quickly was drafted 23rd. He's not a top 10 draft pick with high upside.
No.
No. I think he's our Lou Williams of the future.
Yeah, but let's destroy that notion. I hate when people say that. Like, that kills me. Like, bro, it doesn't matter where you're drafted after 3. It's a crapshoot, right? The Bucks didn't draft Giannis at 15.
One can be garbage. Look at that kid that they drafted out of UNLV, Benton. He was the number 1 pick.
No, he just couldn't play basketball. He was the worst number 1 pick of all
It's
time.
all a crapshoot. They're young players.
But what I'm saying is when you're picked top 3, you're expected to be a Hall of Famer.
Jabari Parker.
Yeah, but he got hurt. Remember, he got hurt.
It's a whole bunch of year butts.
Yeah, but the year he was really remember the year he was growing when he was averaging 20, he tore his ACL. Then when he came back, he was
tore it again.
Then he tore his ACL again. So it zapped him of all of his potential because he was going to be really good, but they didn't draft. But they didn't draft Giannis.
How about Okafor?
Yeah, Jaleel.
We dodged that one.
No, but see, Jaleel was drafted at the wrong time.
He was the 2 pick.
That was who Phil wanted. Phil wanted Jahlil Okafor.
Yeah, but
we didn't get him.
But you gotta understand, Jaleel, when they drafted him, remember the NBA was changing. See, Jalil's a back-to-basket type of center.
Old school.
Now the NBA is now you gotta space the floor. So if you can't protect the rim, a la Mitchell Robinson, it's no way that you're going to see the court anymore in today's NBA. So it's just a different NBA. It's different.
Yes, but
and it's different so much that you've seen how he's changed his body.
Hey,
speaking of Okafor,
it's bust picks all down the line.
But it depends on what you label a bust. Like, I don't label Marvin Williams as a bust because he had a productive NBA career. I don't. It's just certain
Was
people.
he a number 2 pick?
Yeah, but
Yeah,
where
number
he
two.
was drafted at,
To his
where he was
draft.
drafted at, you have to
Yeah.
say that he didn't live up to being the number 2 pick.
I mean, but he had a productive career.
That's like J.R. Reed.
What about that other boy, Sean McCants? What he was, number 6?
Oh, no, see, he just couldn't play basketball.
You know,
Hey, but he
UNC.
just won a national championship.
But he was nasty with my Tar Heels now.
He
It was a joke.
did he get drafted by the Timberwolves?
Yeah,
I believe it was the Timberwolves. He was no joke. He was no joke with UNC.
How about that Morrison kid? How about the Morrison kid?
Adam Morrison?
Oh, Gonzaga.
He was horrible.
He was nasty.
He was
Number
nasty
2
in college, though.
Number 2
he was
pick.
terrible in the NBA.
Yeah, but it's a crapshoot. It's
That goes to show
all a crap.
talent don't always pan out in the NBA, man.
But when you pick top 3,
Milkins, we talking about top 3.
yeah, but I just don't. I feel like Marvin Williams is not a draft bust because
No,
he's more
He's not a bust.
He was able to
He
stick
wasn't with
just
the
for that position.
Just for the pick that he was selected.
You wouldn't expect him to be the
Wait,
type
hold
of player that he
on,
played at.
everybody. What you were saying?
They wasn't what he wasn't what they predicted him to be.
Yeah.
Then Latrell, I believe you were saying something right after.
No, I was just going to say, I mean, based on the fact that he was selected too, I would say he didn't live up to being the number 2 pick, but that doesn't mean he didn't have a solid career, to your point. But I got to just say this. I do have to run, but I love all you guys. I'm going to be doing a lot more Sprewell videos from the 1999 Pacer series on my channel. I've already gone through the whole Hawk series last week. You can see all those.
What's your channel? Let me go ahead and subscribe.
Latrell Sprewell is the American Dream is my channel.
Okay. Okay.
So I went through game 1, 2, 3, and 4 of the Hawk series in '99. Every single bucket Sprewell made. It's all on the channel. It's done. And I'm going to go through the Pacer series next by this weekend. So you guys have a blessed day, and I'll talk to you guys tomorrow.
All right, brother.
All right, man.
Good seeing you.
All right.
All right, subscribe. All right, man, shoot it, Ralph.
And don't let it be about Julius Randle, please.
Nah, man, I did. I like.
I'm gonna have to throw up if I hit 19-9 again.
Nah. I already spoke about Randall. I want to talk about Peyton though.
Yeah, oh, my fuck.
That's almost bad.
I told you last night what's gonna happen, man. Your starting point guard really gonna be either DSJ or Frank, and one of them guys gonna be the backup to each other.
Ron,
and Peyton is gonna be coming off the bench. He's gonna be the insurance policy.
Hey, man, hey, so I know y'all love Julius Randle, right? But I have a Randle take. So I'm here to tell y'all that Julius Randle is gonna be better, borderline all-star, maybe 24-12, right? Because what happens is Knicks fans Knicks fans legit pick the person that they like and they cat form to death. Like Frank Ntilikina, you got Frank Ntilikina is a 6'4" Tree Rollins, and people cat for Frank all night, right? And Julius Randle is legit 20-10, but y'all hate Randle so much, y'all say, "Oh, it's 19-9." When you ever rounded 19.7 down to 19, stop hating.
Man, with you turn over 27%.
People round 9.7 down to 9 just because it's
how many games you helped us win?
And so,
Man, if you don't pass the ball
hold on. Y'all been talking for 4 hours. You know what I'm saying? As soon as I say Randall name, y'all want to come in and cut my head off.
Freezy, I was killing him.
That a development system, a staff is in place, and y'all got a top-notch coach. And the first thing you say with all that stuff is Frank Ntilikina gonna get better, but Julius Randle gonna get worse. That's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard in my life. How does 20-10 get worse with better coaching?
No, his 20-10.
Only State could believe that.
Y'all legit want to get on here and talk about, Kevin Knox averaged 6 points last year, but with a new coach and development staff,
you know State likes to sell hope.
But Julius Randle averaged 20-10, and he gonna get worse.
Who number is number one again on the Knicks? Who number is number one again on the Knicks? I forgot. What is his name again?
Now you saying because you hate Randle, like because Randle was the number one option, right?
No.
But won't nobody tell me
if Randall not the number one, who should have been the number one option?
RJ Barrett.
It should have been RJ Barrett, a rookie on a high ankle sprain. Should have been the number one option over a dude.
I'd rather him be the number one option with a broken leg.
The whole thing sound ridiculous. Y'all sound like a bunch of haters. Y'all like, yo, that 6'4", Tree Rollins is gonna blossom into something, but a dude averaging 20 and 10 ain't gonna be nothing. I'll let y'all handle that.
Hey, Freak,
Okay.
I want to argue this with one question. Do y'all think that Tibbs is going to be like, okay, Julius, you're my number one, or RJ, you're my number one? No.
Obi.
Do y'all think that Tibbs is going to establish a number one?
I think RJ and Julius Randle are going to have a good year this year.
Yeah,
It might be Obi.
No, but my question is, do y'all think that Tibbs is going to establish somebody as their number one on this current roster right here?
He's going to have to.
Let's put it this way. Randall had a 29% usage factor last year. He won't have that this year.
That's the reason
I
why
think
he
they're
had
going to
them
be
numbers.
somewhere they're going to be very effective. He's going to be like
Ron.
27,
Yep,
25.
Man, if you don't stop your cap, man. Jimmy
you
Butler
got
went to
cap.
Miami.
You love your hope. You love selling hope with you saw a lot of false hope, State. Let me tell you, man.
What you mean? Listen, you selling false hope with this Julius Randle gonna average 20 when Obi Toppin's on the roster. Jimmy Butler went to Miami. None of those dudes averaged 20 points. All of them dudes averaged double-digit points. All of those dudes share the ball because Jimmy Butler shared the ball. It's contagious when you share the ball. Randall doesn't share the ball. So since he doesn't share the ball,
I told y'all.
no. They was played. You know what Gammo like to do? See, I'm gonna use the Gammo technique real quick.
Go ahead, use the technique. I don't use technique.
You don't need coaching to understand how to pass out of a double team when you're 25 years old. So let me get Gammo out real quick. He's intelligent enough to know how to pass out of a double team. So since he knows that, this is why a lot of us is disgusted with him. And also, let's be honest, bro.
We discussed it with everybody in the roster, right? We're not discussing with Frank's production. We're not
drafted
discussing with Kevin Knox.
I don't give a damn about Frank. I don't care about this.
We all do. We all do. Yes, you do. Don't just because
I just
today
don't want
you
to talk
don't. We
about
all
right
do. We there's a lot of disgusting stuff with the Knicks roster and with last season, and a lot of it had to do with the coaching. You want to blame coaching for Kevin Knox all day. I'm talking about every single minute. And when it comes to Frank, you want to blame the coaching. But guess what? Julius Randle had that same coach. So last season with the Pelicans, he had a relatively good coach.
And look how long Julius been in the league too. Don't leave that out.
Listen. At the end of the day, he walked into a bad situation. He learned it the hard way.
Yo, he didn't come off the bench for the Pelicans.
We agree with you that the coaching is bad, but it affected Randle too.
Hey, do you know how many turnovers Julius had last year? Steven, let him know.
190.
Oh my goodness. And
how many games he played last year?
Pardon?
How many?
He played a lot of games. He played a lot of games. But listen, we just don't want to say
that. Steve breaking up. What you said, Steve? How many games?
64.
64.
That's 3 a game. My math is correct.
That's correct.
How many RJ had?
It doesn't matter. RJ's a rookie.
You see how this guy goes, man?
What are you talking about here?
So he'll drive Randall in my smart car out of town.
Word. Like, come on.
RJ had 124.
You see, man, I don't even want to say the wrong things because the first people that
it does matter. How you say RJ matter turnovers don't matter and he a guard? How you gonna say RJ Matter?
It matters for everybody.
Turnovers don't matter and he a primary ball handler.
He's a rookie.
Come on, bro. It's selective hate.
He's a baby.
I know Kevin want to jump in because I know Kevin got a Julius Randle tattoo on his heart.
Oh,
right.
No. I'm just saying.
The thing is,
I'm not mistaken.
We doing selective hate, man. You can't say Thibodeau is gonna make everybody better except Randall. Like he gonna put Randall in the corner.
We never said that.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm putting Randall in perspective.
Word, like he's not that Obi.
20 and 10.
Listen. Okay, Kevin.
20 and 10. His average is higher than Porzingis. Y'all got Porzingis, right? Y'all got Porzingis on a pedestal, right? Randall's numbers were better than Porzingis across the board.
Oh my
y'all
God.
hate Porzingis.
Porzingis is way better than Randall.
What does the data say?
Not even
What's
close.
the data say?
Everybody's better than Frank.
Don't
though.
tell me about no eye test.
They-
Don't tell me
Everybody's
about
better than Frank. Everybody's better than Kevin Knox. Everybody's better than Frank Knox.
That's a lot of turnovers.
You want to talk about it? You want to talk about everybody's better than Frank and Kevin Knox? You want to talk about that? You want to blame the
Hey, hold
coach?
on,
You
hold
want
on,
to blame
Raphael.
the
Let me
coach?
get this in before I
Let's
go
blame
because
the
I'm going
coach.
to have it. But
Let's
what I'm
blame the
saying
coach.
is, what I'm
Let's
saying
blame the
is,
coach.
Let's hear Freezy. Let's hear Freezy, fellas. Go ahead, Freeze.
what I'm saying is, you can't compare Randall, who played with Alfred Payton, to Porzingis, who played with Luka, and say, well, Porzingis is better when Randall's numbers are better across the board.
Porzingis block shots.
Randall is playing with his best friend.
Come on, dog. And the other thing too is you can't say his turnovers when Julius Randle played with a 6'4" Tree Rollins and Alfred Payton and another dude that came in fat.
You forgot that other point guard. Hey, Freezy, you forget the other point guard Julius Randle played with. It was God and Moses out there. Both of them was in the sandbox.
I want to listen to you guys. I want you guys to tell me who is Frank Ntilikina better than, and who is Kevin Knox better than?
The whole team was trash.
You see how you do. You see how you do.
The whole team was trash.
Frank Ntilikina is better than
Moses.
You can't
You're
expect
gonna be
Kevin
drilled
Knox.
with Julius tonight in your Julius pajamas. You're gonna be wearing tonight.
Word.
Y'all have a good one.
Like you got your Frank Ntilikina pajamas and your Kevin Knox pajamas.
Randall with this 19-9 garbage. If you don't stop,
how about the garbage that Kevin Knox is giving us? How about the garbage that Frank Ntilikina is giving us? You're not tired of it? You're not tired of it? That's so much garbage. Everything that's what makes your argument so much garbage. You see the most garbage.
Oh God. You really
because you talk the most garbage. No, everybody's better than Frank Ntilikina and Kevin Knox. Propaganda with the Ntilikina propaganda.
Randall is trash, bro.
My man, the bigger trash at the end of the day is Kevin Knox and Frank Ntilikina. You can't deal with that. Why can't you deal with the facts?
No, the facts are the whole team is trash, but Randall is trash. And I'm mad at him because he's 25, came here, he stole James Harden money, and he was stealing the rock from
I would never trade Frank Ntilikina and Kevin Knox. There would never be equal to Julius Randle. Never. There would be G League players.
I'm still salty at RJ Clement. Randall is not that good for him to be hard.
Is not that good.
So Randall ain't that good. Yeah, but Randall ain't that good. So
he's way better than your Kevin Knox and your Frank Ntilikina. Way better.
Is Kevin Knox 25?
It doesn't matter if he gets to 25. He ain't gonna make it in the league because he's 25. Because he's not that good.
Randall's trash, bro.
Kevin Knox is trash.
So Julius Randle scored 3.5 points higher than his career average.
All the players you stand up for most of the time are trash. You are like a trash hype man. I'm gonna tell you what state. You are a trash hype man.
All of them is 26, 27. While Knox and these boys.
Most of the time, you back up. You supporting trash most of the time.
I'm supporting my draft picks. Randall came as a free agent. I expected him to come here and winning, but he did it.
I said my trash. They're trash.
Nobody better. Who he made better?
Randall's way better.
No, who he made better? Who he made better?
You don't make
no. Listen, your guys.
He ain't make nobody better.
Doesn't matter. Make yourself
better. Because he came here as a free agent.
You want to start calling Randall trash? I'm gonna call Knox trash. I'm gonna call Frank trash.
He trash. He ain't my draft.
All right, let's talk facts.
I expect better, bro. That's why nobody want to trade for him. That's
not true. Nope. I'm telling you what it is. They want to hold on to him. They want to get rid of him. They want to get rid of Knox.
He is 68 charge.
I'm telling you what it is. The Knicks are trying to get rid of trash, which is probably Frank and Knox.
Steven Fox, you doing a great job. Hey Kevin, you doing a great job. Rob the Nick, I need for you to jump in here, man. You sitting there like you got something to say,
Man,
and I hope you ain't about to explode on nobody.
The first people you want to get rid of is trash, and the first people that are trash is probably Frank and probably Knox.
Randall is trash, boy. I'm
who's trash. It's probably Knox. It's probably your boy Knox.
Usually, 3:30.
Let's look at this from a factual standpoint first. What is the role of a number one option on a team?
Listen, it was his first year.
No.
We had Fizdale. We gotta let last year go, bro. We want to throw everything on Randall.
Answer Kevin.
We want to forget. We want to forget people when it comes to Frank and Knox. Oh, let's forget about it. Let's forget about last year when it comes to
I'll get on the Frank.
But when it comes to Randall, let's remember.
Hold on. This isn't about Frank or Knox right now. What is the role of the number one option on the team?
Getting buckets.
No, not only his role. Say it. Say the whole answer.
The name of the game is scoring.
The
name of the game is scoring.
Stop capping and say the whole answer.
Randall's buckets translate into wins.
A team.
Hey, let me say, y'all. Hey, y'all. Let me say this real quick. Hold on, everybody. Let me say this before I go. Hey, so Lawrence Tears, this channel, Knicks at Night podcast has the dopest minds in the game. I appreciate and love all of them. Knicks at Night podcast got the dopest hosts and co-hosts in the game. Period. Y'all got 118 people watching 3:00 in the morning East Coast time. That's bananas. This ain't just a thing. This is just not the platform or any of that. People come here because they feel good vibes. Y'all doing an excellent job. Excellent. I wish I could be here longer with y'all, man. Y'all doing an excellent job, man. Hey, y'all, everybody in the chat, even if y'all don't agree, y'all got to respect the fact that these co-hosts jump on here and are dedicated and have sharp takes, even if you don't agree. And if you hadn't subscribed to the channel, make sure you subscribe to the channel and smash that like button. So other people that want to see stuff just like this can find us, because we want to find them and they want to find us. By January, we want to have, or February, we want to have about 700 people in here watching, and we can get there because we're growing exponentially. We're not growing in a singularity. We're growing exponentially. So shout out to everybody. Stephen Fox, you're doing a great job of running point. God and Moses and Elijah, appreciate you in the backcourt. Hey, State, I appreciate you doing the heavy lifting, being the scorer. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Stephen, hey, and I appreciate you being the rebound and everything for this squad, man. Hey, this is crazy. Y'all have no idea how good this looks on YouTube. And I ain't just
part of this community.
And I ain't just gassing y'all head. And if I had to cap for somebody, if I had to cap for a bunch of people, I'm capping for y'all. So if people don't like me capping for y'all, I don't care. Y'all doing a great job. Hey, I'm out of here, man. We're gonna try to wrap about 3:30. But I'm gonna be listening. Okay. I got Moses and Elijah. Go ahead and cut their head off because I know you're ready.
Nah, I'm not even ready. I'm gonna go ahead. It's their turn to
point blank. Huh? A point guard supposed to give out the assist. Your number one option is supposed to get you buckets. That's
make the players around you better.
What makes you better is the point guard giving him the ball in the right situation for him to score the ball.
Bro, you stuck in the 80s. That's the 80s basketball. It's not 2020.
Option is you don't get no. Look at all throughout. You don't get a bunch of assists from a power forward in this time.
Rob, you're right. I'm sorry, bro. You're right. Look, I mean, when I'm wrong, you're right.
You don't get Bradley Beal.
Sorry, you're
right. Here's the thing but hold on. Here's the thing.
No, you're right. You're right, Rob.
You look at the starting point guard's assist ratio was the highest to Julius Randle. Everybody knows that a starting point guard was only passing the ball to Julius Randle.
But he was
right. And importantly, the number one option was Drew Holiday, right?
Huh?
Drew Holiday was the number one scoring option with the Pelicans, right? When Julius Randle was with the Pelicans.
AD was when he played.
I think didn't they make the trade for? No, he was there before.
I don't know why I don't remember seeing AD.
I think
he gets hurt a lot, man. AD gets hurt. You know how he do.
No, he was sitting out. Remember, he was sitting out, and they kept finding him.
That's what I don't remember him.
You man, listen, man. This propaganda, Ralph, that you spitting this hot garbage.
Hey, man, look, y'all need to just start forgiving people when they don't pass the ball to RJ, man.
But Rob, you gotta understand, brother. This is not old school. Look, listen. This is not the 80s. It's not the 90s ball. It's not 2000.
Your point guard. I was the number one option.
Yeah. But what I say to you is,
my paycheck said I was the number one option.
That's true.
Paycheck said I'm the number one option. So RJ, fall back, kick me the rock, and fall back.
You're not that good enough to say fall back. So now
the ownership said I was that good enough.
Oh, but no. That's why they gone.
That's what I'm. Rob. That's what. Rob.
I don't got the bag.
Listen. The dudes who said he was the number one option, all of them is fired now. And then wait, hold on. Scott Perry has no more power. Let's start there. So Scott Perry
until I'm relieved of my duties. I'm still the number one option.
Scott Perry is a dead man walking. Hey,
why you hating so much?
You don't know. Tiz
might get talent evaluator. You got to give him a little credibility.
No, I don't get. You know why I don't like Scott Perry? Because granted, he got Steve Mills fired. He did a snake move. I love him for that move. I respect him for that move. But I want everybody who was a part of that Porzingis fiasco. I want him out. I don't care. I want him gone.
Why do you forget that Porzingis asked to be traded? He had a rape in his building going on. What about the rape in the building?
I understand that.
In the building. If he would have stayed in New York and that would have hit the paper, they would have crucified Porzingis. He lucky he got his ass out of Dodge. You know that. He's lucky. If he would have stood around in New York, he would have probably went back to Africa because they would have got his ass. You know he couldn't survive that.
Rob not with it tonight.
He had a rape in the building. Hey, look, he tore his ACL and the next day he get a rape charge. Come on now. Don't do that.
Rob not with it, man. I mean, but
you got extortion going on in the building.
That's understandable, but look, Scott Perry, none of his free agents hit, right?
No, I wouldn't say
that. Hold on, Rob. None of his free agents hit. People don't like the Kevin Knox draft pick. Hold on. This is stuff under his watch. Malpractice. He hired David Fizdale with the least amount of developmental staff in the NBA. So that's malpractice. Then on top of that, you tell me as a fan, now this is the fan side of me, you tell me during your press conference, oh, we're not going to skip steps. We're going to rebuild the right way, blah, 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 blah. And I'm watching Reggie Bullock and Mo Harkless after the All-Star break. So and when I see all of those things, the judgment comes down. I want them gone.
I told you about that New York paper. They panicked. Soon as they didn't get LeBron and Kyrie, they got the bunch of power folks. They panicked because it was supposed to still stay young. They panicked. That's why Mills is gone. You sold a bill of goods. You gone. It was on you. So therefore, like, yo, everything is suave. It was on him. He gone.
Yeah. I mean, but still, that was on his watch. So I got to pick on somebody. I can pick on Lil Rose.
Mills was the big dog.
Yeah, but he got to sign off on it too.
I'm rolling with Rush. That ain't me.
But they still signed 4 or 5 power forwards, so I'm still mad at him.
He responsible for Knox, and he responsible for Robinson. Those are his 2 picks.
All right, and he responsible for Portis, trying to be like Melo, Randall, Taj, Reggie Bullock.
You just said that you would have drafted Kevin Knox again.
We got picks for them.
No. I said for the people. Hold on. Let me respond to Ralph real quick. I said for the people, just quote me clear. I said for the people who don't like the Kevin Knox pick, right? They crucify Scott Perry for that as well. So quote me clearly. Now,
do you like the Kevin Knox pick? Do you like the Kevin Knox pick or not?
Knox. That was my guy. That's why I wanted.
So why you don't like Scott Perry then?
Huh?
It's not over.
If you like Kevin Knox, then why you don't like Scott Perry?
Because Scott Perry traded Porzingis. He signed a bunch of power forwards. He lost rebuilding.
He did that. He traded the rapists.
Everybody's a part of that. Everybody.
Yeah, but you.
All right, so everybody was
if that would have hit the papers, you would have been going to work like this here. Damn, dog. The whole story would have got out.
Also,
ushered him out of town real quick.
Also, on top of that, he the one that helped out trade Carmelo Anthony when the Knicks needed to trade Carmelo Anthony. He traded him to OKC. Like he's trying to fix the situation.
Look,
he didn't create the situation.
We owe the NBA, we owe the D League and the WNBA all the money we owe. He got us under. Now we operating like we can do something. Develop these players, hold the trees, and that was all Perry.
If it was up to Scott Perry, he would get all his extra draft busts to come over here, like he always do. I'm sick.
Hold up. Yo, listen, Rob, like you said, Rob, like you said,
play by himself.
Rob, I want to make a point.
He turned the ball over 124 times last year too.
Rob, I want to make a point real quick. Yo, also Perry walked into that situation, the Melo situation, the Porzingis situation. He didn't create that. That was already here. He just walked into it. Am I right or wrong, Rob?
He was bumming someplace else before he got
here. Hold on, I'm going to say this.
He was in Sacramento. Drafting De'Aaron Fox.
It's not
and Henry Giles.
Scott Perry, and I want y'all to realize this, that over the last 20 years, I forgot it, Steve Mills has been in the Knicks front office under Isaiah Thomas.
Yep.
Under Phil Jackson. It's literally on the latest. Steve Mills has been a
still looking around the hallways. He's still looking around the hallways.
Yeah, he's behind the scenes.
They put him in accounting now. He's in accounting. He's still looking around the hallway.
Steve Mills is the biggest.
How you doing? He's
the biggest problem of the Knicks, other than Dolan. And he's had decisions. His hands have been on the Knicks for 20 years in some capacity. And it's just mind-boggling.
He's out of basketball operations. That's all we can hope for. He messing with the hockey team now. As long as he out of basketball operations, man, we don't got no problem. He good. Can't do nothing after that. He out of basketball.
I hope so, because if he do, he can't do no stupid nonsense in this media day and age. Maybe 6 years ago.
Your boy next year, Randall gonna have something like 74 turnovers. He gonna cut that thing in half.
All right, and he's gonna be coming off the bench then.
Well, wherever he come from is for me. If he start early, he resort to the bench. Whatever he does, long as when Obi get on board, he ready to ball.
Obi will be ready.
Hey, Rob, Randall is Randall. He had 193 turnovers last year, but the year before 208, the year before 213, the year 173, he is who he is.
Oh no, but see, you have to first have a coach that proves that pushes deep. Hey, look, you're gonna turn the ball over the more you get the ball.
No, but he's not smart with the ball.
Hey, go check out.
He had 65 lost balls last year with that stupid spin.
Okay, let's go with somebody else. Let's go with somebody else like this here, another power forward. Okay, go look at Draymond Green's turnovers in that championship year.
No, hold on, because the difference.
Come on.
Draymond is literally a point forward.
Okay, so let's see how he turned the ball over. LeBron is too.
But they both
comparing Julius Randle to Draymond Green.
The position. You still playing the 4.
Rob, you can't compare winning.
Draymond had 98 turnovers last year.
No, not last year. The championship year, they was bumming it last year.
Well, he's definitely in.
Let's see.
Rob, you're right. Definitely a Julius thing. In the championship, he had 202.
Okay.
184. 259.
That position turns the ball over.
But he's doing it impacting winning. He's winning.
Not just Randall.
Defensive Player of the Year award. He's winning. It's a difference.
The point is, we're talking about turnovers. It's not just Randall. That position, you touch the ball. You touch the ball a lot.
Oh my God, Randall stinks, man. Oh my God.
Hey,
I don't know, man.
Look at AD. Look at AD. How many he had?
Oh my God. This
Hey,
is
folks,
when
we
he was
only,
with
we
the
only got
Pelicans.
15 minutes. We only got 15 minutes left. Breezy asks us to drop at 3:30. But just as a change of pace, you want to hear a weird statistic I saw today?
go ahead.
No player had a larger impact on their team shot profile at the rim in 2019, 2020 than Zion Williamson. Pelicans shot approximately 15% more shots at the rim when he played compared to when he sat. The next players on that list are number 2, Elfrid Payton, and number 3 was R.J. Barrett.
Nice. And you hate Alfred Payton. You hate Alfred Payton State.
Alfred Payton stinks. He's so whack, bro.
None of them made the
But he's better
playoffs.
than Frank.
What kind of stat is that? Nobody's
He's
not
better
a
than
winning
Frank,
stat.
man.
Nobody went to the playoffs.
Alfred could be better than Frank. He could be better than DSJ.
Hey, look,
He could be better than
nobody
IQ.
went to the
He could be
playoffs
better
with
than all of
that
them.
stat.
Mhm.
Nobody
Listen,
went to the playoffs.
Why you hate him? Explain to me. Why you hate him even though he's averaging 11 and 7 and good defense?
he don't play defense.
Yes, he does.
No, he don't.
Yes, he does.
No, he don't.
Let's bring up Steve. Steven, bring the stats. The defensive stats.
Don't you dare bring up them individual stats from games where Alfred Payton was guarding Trey Young. Don't you dare, because I don't want to do this while we on live.
We take all games. We don't cheat.
What do you want?
We don't want to cheat. We want all the defensive
So
stats.
go to the individuals matchups with Alfred Payton guarding versus certain guards, because we know his
Come on, man. Certain guards, man. Come on, man.
Come on now.
He's a
Alfred
defender. Alfred Payton is a defender.
Yo, Alfred Payton is not a defender. He's been on 6 lottery teams. He's led 6 different teams in the lottery. He's never played 500 plus basketball winning percentage wise. He's never been on a winning team. He's never led a team to the playoffs. He was beside greater talent like Devin Booker, had no impact on the game whatsoever. Why the hell am I wasting time on Alfred Payton?
Because he's a good defender.
He don't defend.
And he averages 11 and 7.
What point guard he outplayed last year?
Frank?
No. He's the starting point guard. Name a game that he outplayed a starting point guard.
Look, last season was such a bad season. I like to put
Oh my God. Oh my God. People cap for Alfred Payton and don't even remember a signature game from him. Oh my Lord. Do you have any games where he shut down? You don't have nothing? Because I remember a game where Trey Young scored 49 points, but scored 40 plus points on Alfred Payton alone. I remember that game.
Yeah.
I remember that game. I would give you more stats on Alfred Payton, but I don't want to sound like a hater. I already hate Alfred Payton as much as I do. So and 20% from the 3 as well. If you don't want to, you don't want me to bring that up.
But that's 11 and 7 though. And he's still strong, a good defender though.
Well, he's not a good defender. Name a game where he outplayed a point guard. If you're a Knicks fan, you watch every game, you wouldn't remember the game.
I'm gonna have to, I don't know, YouTube, or I'm gonna have to check the stats, whatever I have to find out. I'll get to it.
Yeah, I bet you when you check the stat of that game, it's going to be a 20-point loss. Alfred is not that good, bro.
It's better than what we got right now.
Alfred is so whack. He's so whack that I hope that I'd rather watch any other point guard on this roster play at point guard than Alfred. That he's that garbage. Like I've never been so bored. Like, he's boring to watch. He passes the Julius Randle 29% of the time. Then he passed the Julius Randle 40% of the time after Mook was traded.
25.
29. It's 29. I noticed that. It's 29, brother. It's 29 and then it's 40.
You were capping. I had to fix
it. All right, so look it up then. Anyways, it's 29. You're going to tell me it's 29.
Ralph, do you believe in DWS, a defensive win share? That statistic or metric? Well, Peyton last year was so not even one game was attributed to his defense for a win. The year before, one game from his defense was attributed to a win. So versus a Jimmy Butler that was almost 3 games.
Jimmy Butler's really great.
That's bad funny. Yo, that's funny, Todd. Yo, Todd, you're a funny dude. You're a funny dude, man. Peyton is trash, bro. Peyton is trash, bro. I don't care what stats you throw at me. You could throw the steal stat, the assist stat, the point stat. I watched every game. Go ahead, Steve.
Give you a statistic. Julius Randle had more impact defense than Elfrid.
Oh my God! When I hear Julius Randle got more impact than you on defense, then it's a problem. It's a problem.
He plays D. I'm telling you, Randle.
No, he didn't.
He played
No,
D
he
in
didn't.
LA.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did. You wasn't here tonight when I showed the highlights.
Listen, you can show as many highlights as you want, but I got highlights of him in that blue and orange, and ain't a lot of good ones.
He only has one season. One season.
Yeah. And in one season, hold on. This how much of the management think of Randle. In one season, they drafted a guy who plays his position with a lotto pick.
They also drafted Emmanuel quickly. Too.
After this year,
what does that mean?
He's not even guaranteed.
What about Emmanuel quickly? What does that mean for Emmanuel quickly? Explain that to me.
Emmanuel quickly?
Yeah.
I know that Tom Thibodeau, he was one of the first names that he named in his first press conference, so that's a part of my young core.
Hey, look, if he ain't talking about the six,
who's he replacing?
He talked about Knox in the first one. He talked about Knox last week. He talked about Knox this week. If he only talked about you once, he just because he had to. Now he's talking about you because he what you're doing. The media, he had to say something. This week, if he brought you up this week, that means as though you was doing something in camp.
If Knox produces, I got a lot of receipts on a lot of people. And if Frank produces, I got a lot of receipts on a lot of people. So I hope a lot of you people is going to be able to be found after Friday. I hope nobody's hiding. I hope I can find you on Twitter. Okay. As long as you can admit a month from now, when that combo when I jump on the live stream in a month from now, and I'm looking at the live stream, I'm like, Obi Toppin and Knox, man. What fellas gonna say? It's gonna be a great conversation.
You throwing Obi Toppin out of nowhere. Talk about Knox and Frank. That's what you were talking about all day.
Whoa. Tibbs didn't mention Frank, so I don't give a damn about Frank. Tibbs mentioned Knox, Obi, and RJ.
I don't know.
He didn't even mention RJ to tell you the truth.
I don't know. Stay. You move all over.
State hates Randall. State hates Alfred.
Hey, look. He might mention him tomorrow, but he ain't mentioned him yet this week. That was last week.
You know what I'm saying?
He's glowing when he talked about Knox. That's all I know.
Knox, he mentioned this.
Talk that Knox stuff, man. Talk that Knox stuff.
And Robinson is the only two that he really mentioned.
Yo, question to the chat. Did he mention Randall?
I don't think he's brought up Julius Randle at all.
Bring him up yet.
No, he doesn't.
You know why he ain't bring him up yet, Ralph? Wow. Because he's gonna be going soon.
Let's see. Go ahead. It's looking like Frank might be going too.
For right now, he's a bargain. We got him for the low. And when we trade him, we're gonna trade him for the high. So we good.
Yeah. Also, it's not right now. It's not a good time to talk about Randall, anyways. Most Knicks fans, they hate him right now. So it's better for him to wait.
Better for him to wait. The ball to RJ.
And we're gonna call that point guard spot a close.
Yeah, I can't wait till Friday stream when I get on here Friday night. And I see the look on people's faces.
Hey,
I'm gonna have a ball this whole season because the young boys is gonna.
I got a question for you. Are you gonna hate Nerlens Noel next season?
I love Nerlens Noel. One of the best pickups.
You hate every veteran. I don't know. You hate a lot of veterans.
They just RJ lovers, and I gotta put them in their place.
No, they hate every veteran. So I have to.
The Knicks, Ralph, never RJ fault. I'm just giving them some perspective. That's all.
So what if Nerlens Noel starts?
I don't care. I said first of all, I said Nerlens Noel was the best pick of this offseason, the
Okay.
best free agency pickup. Because Nerlens Noel could protect the rim, unlike Bobby effing Portis and Enes Kanter, so I don't got to worry about Mitch going to the bench no more. That's why I really love the Nerlens Noel pickup. I have no problems with the Nerlens Noel pickup. I would welcome him to start, but if him or Mitch, I don't give a damn. We got 48 minutes of rim protection. That's what I care about. They gonna help us get a top 15 defense. Those two right there, they're gonna be critical to the ice defense because they gotta sag back. Remember the ice defense, you gotta sag back, and most of the point guards, they're defending the drive rather than they're allowing you to shoot the long two, but they're gonna defend the drive. So we gonna see, man. We gonna have fun next season, man. A lot of people's gonna be heartbroken when their favorite vets is on the bench, parked on the bench because their favorite vets can't play defense. And I'm gonna have a ball this year. So
also, I like Alec Burks. What's the deal? What do you guys feel about Alec Burks?
He good money.
Yeah,
he could play.
Absolutely.
He could play. But I'm out of here, fellas.
For him to do. They're gonna find something for him to do. Might be sweeping the gym. I don't know. They'll find something for him.
Hey, we got to drop in a second, but everyone, please support Freezy, his community, his vision for building this. Hit that button, hit that subscribe, hit that bell, and God bless everyone.
God bless.
Yo, Freezy, man. Everybody support Freezy.
Support. It ain't easy. Freezy.
Uncle Freezy, man. Support, man. God bless you, brother. I appreciate you having me on here. I appreciate all the Knicks fans that's on here. All of us could come together. We could talk Knicks. You know, some of our family members, they don't like the Knicks, but we know we love the Knicks, so we can always get on here and talk to each other. It's like a barbecue with everybody. Everybody invited, you know. But I'm happy for next season. Friday's going to be hella fun because I'm off work this weekend. So as soon as the game is off, I'm good to go. But I'm just hoping for a good season next season, man. And let's get the ball rolling, man. I'm ready, man. I'm hyped.
And the good news is in 4.5 hours, Freezy's going to be doing his morning show. So
yeah, man. Everybody tune into that, man. That's a great show.
Good gets better. Make sure you turn into Freezy in the morning, everyone. God bless everyone.
Time to